You find yourself walking with your friend Gabriel through the woods, and each of you are in a medieval time. You see, though, in the woods, in the mountains, where there's lava, a conveniently located store. Do you go into the store?
Yes.
What about you, Gary?
Can I roll a perception check to see what the store is?
Yes, actually, I'll just even tell you. You see Currency's conveniently located store written at the top.
I go in.
Do you, okay.
I crit fail and trip on the curb.
As you do that, you land directly onto this padded surface, and as you hit the floor of the padded surface, you hear a ding as the doors magically slide open in this medieval timeline. You both go in as you're dragged across the floor with your face leaving blood marks, and you see conveniently located potions called Dew of the Mountain.
Like the Mountain Dew?
And Dr. Pecker, a woodpecker formula.
A woodpecker formula, okay.
And then you see a weird box with a glass wall in front of it and holes.
What's in the box?
You see a tiny old man named Currency.
Okay. What's
According to his
Currency
tag.
currently up to?
He's currently polishing. He's
Yeah.
he's polishing his counter.
By the way, I can hear your volume on your phone. I think you have the stream pulled up.
Whoops. Anyways, this is a weird D&D 7-Eleven. I was gonna make you guys go through and buy your drinks before we start the stream, but
hang on, wait. I want to buy my drink. Let me buy my drink. Let me buy it. What is for sale?
You push the third guy out of the conversation. He's out, and you turn to Currency, and you go up. Do you go up to Currency?
I start violently shaking the box that Currency is currently residing within. Currently.
And so he looks at you and he clears his throat. How may I help you?
You got any copies of Concord?
Yes, actually.
Yeah?
How many would you like?
How many did the game sell?
210.
Okay, so I'd like 209. I'd like you to have one too.
All right, that's it. Leave the store. You're banned from D&D 7-Eleven. And this is Pixel Pulse. Welcome back. How are you all doing today?
I'm doing I'm all right. I ate a lot of Thanksgiving and talked about Concord with my family members.
Did you actually talk about Concord with your family members?
I did, and because I loved bringing it up that that Concord was outlived by houseflies. And it got to the point where at my uncle's Thanksgiving specifically, it kind of became a bit of a joke because people kept like joining the conversation right towards when I was getting to the end of it. And so people are like, wait, what's outlived a housefly? And so I'd start over. I'd be like, okay, so there's this company called Sony, right? $400 million. And then someone else would join in and they're like, well, what are you talking about? I'd be like, okay, so just shy of $1 billion. You heard of this company, Sony?
I feel like every time I'm on the podcast, we're talking about Concord.
We have kept up the Concord streak ever since.
Oh my God.
We got to talk about Concord.
Well, okay, so actually, I do have information about Concord if you guys are interested in hearing this.
Yes, I am.
So, Amazon, they were working alongside it, I believe. I don't remember the name of the show that they had that was supposed to be a tie-in, like Secret Game Levels or something like that. Essentially, Amazon did an entire like second season for this show, and they found out that they weren't even advertising their current characters in this tie-in video game show. They were advertising characters that were eventually going to come out in Concord.
Oh,
so they have an entire season of this show dedicated to characters that will never be released. So,
very good.
Oof. Big oof.
Well, this is Pixel Pulse, by the way. I don't know if you, the viewer, have ever heard of this show before, but this is the show where we got train whistles, slide whistles.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. I was just...
And Agari screaming. Yeah. And on this show, we do various things such as talk about video games, talk about Concord, which isn't a video game. It's a mistake.
We also debate extreme opinions about Warhammer.
Yeah, Warhammer's not a video game, but yeah.
Warhammer can be a video game, though.
It was okay. So was Warhammer a board game first or a video game first?
Oh, Warhammer was a board game first. Warhammer, I believe, was made early 90s, if not 80s.
Okay. I on a somewhat related to the board game topic, I played a board game that I unfortunately can't remember the name of, so this conversation will go nowhere. But I played this board game where you're basically you go around this big. It's kind of like D&D meets Monopoly.
Warhammer was created in 1987 of September.
Okay.
That was 40K, though. I don't know what actual Warhammer is. I'll look and see that, too. But keep going, sorry.
It's like D&D meets Monopoly, the game. And there's like 3 circles, or not circles, but like the board is rectangular. And you go around the edge of the board, and then you can go into the middle of the board, and then further in the middle of the board. And you gotta get like all of this... they're like fates, and you gotta kill things, and it was fun. I can't remember the name of it though, so this conversation's gonna go nowhere.
Dang, that's very rough. It's like
it was really fun.
Allow me to. Oh man, all right. I played this really good board game. It's where you sit there and you stare longingly at chat, hoping that you don't pick up the phone and talk to chat first, but you know you're desperate to talk to chat because that's the only source of validation you get. So now I'm gonna do it. Pickle McCool says Agari has brought me here to say Gabriel needs to take a shower.
I don't believe in showers.
Considering it's only me and the American Sign Language are in this room. All right, Gabe, come here and let me get a whiff.
Okay.
Yes, he does. You're right.
He sniffed my fingers. He smelled the hot Cheetos.
It was exactly hot Cheeto mac and cheese.
No, it was not hot Cheeto mac and cheese. It was just hot Cheeto.
It seems like there's a noodle after scent lingering in my life.
That might have been the beef and potato noodles from a couple days ago.
All right. Well, what do we all have for our dinner today?
For dinner today, I had leftover Blaze pizza.
Chat, what did you all have for dinner today?
I had Mountain Dew.
We'll come
Game
back to
Fuel.
chat. You had what? You had what now?
I had Mountain Dew Game Fuel, the citrus cherry one.
I don't think that's sustenance.
It is if you're a gamer.
And I'm a gamer.
It's called starving yourself because you're poor and occasionally having a Mountain Dew because that's what gets you through to life before you decide to throw yourself from...
That is my sustenance.
I'm back up the building now somehow. Let's go ahead and we need to keep moving. I'm so distracted now. I'm very excited.
It's fine. This is the first time we've had you on the show in the last couple of weeks. How the fuck have you been, my guy?
It's been life changing.
Yeah.
I've decided to go into a gym and do things like walk.
He's basically bald now, by the way. I know we're not showing Cam, but like this dude came in here. I was like, who the hell are this dude had like
I've had long hair for like the last 5 or 6 years now.
And now he's got like basically buzz cut length.
Yep.
I look like Bobby Hill.
A little bit.
You know what?
A little
like if Bobby Hill had a beard, yeah.
Okay, Dad.
I don't know you.
I don't know you.
Purse. God damn it, Bobby.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving? No, both of you?
I actually did. My favorite thing I had on Thanksgiving. We did 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
We went to me and my friend. We went to the Thanksgiving together.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. It was interesting. I learned a lot about my family members. I learned that I have something called Uncle Tom hair, which we have an Uncle Tom at my Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And so she looked at me and looked at him and realized I have his hair.
Wait, I thought you said you cut the hair before the show today.
I did.
Oh, so now you no longer have Uncle Tom.
No, I no
Is that
longer.
What inspired you to make the move? You're like, I don't want to be compared to this dude.
You know, it certainly means a lot when you hear a certain opinion from people. I got roasted the entire way home. You just fucking young Uncle Tom.
Wow.
What about you, Agari? Well, actually, hang on. Before we do that, what was your favorite dish
So
out of everything you ate?
it was going to be originally ham. But me and my friend decided in our infinite will and wisdom just to go to a gas station and get hot dogs on Thanksgiving, and that was my favorite dinner. Was with her having having gas station hot dogs in the car.
Are those even like considered like
kosher? No.
Safe? Yeah.
I've had one gas station hot dog in my life, and it was the worst decision I've ever had.
Yeah.
Did you get it from 7-Eleven?
No, I got it from a marathon.
See, that was the problem. Apparently, you need to go to the 7-Eleven because that's what she was saying. Speedway and 7-Eleven hot dogs are the best, but we had Loves.
I work way out in the boonies, and there is a gas station somewhat nearby to where I work.
They have really good chicken strips.
Their chicken is really good, though it gives me really bad IBS. And also, they have like fairly decent like little personal pan pizzas. You know what I'm talking about, Mel? Because you've probably been to that gas station.
Yes, I don't usually get them though. I'm always grabbing the because they do like massive potato wedges too, and so you can get like a 5 tender 5 potato wedge with like a 32-ounce drink for like $13. Fantastic deal from this truck stop. Anyways,
Agari, how was your Thanksgiving and what's your favorite food?
I had 2 Thanksgivings. One was on my stepdad's side of the family, and then the other one was my mom's Thanksgiving. So I just had a couple of them. They were pretty good. Honestly, I'm a really big connoisseur of deviled eggs. I really, really like deviled eggs.
Yeah.
And my mom, I don't know how she does it. I don't know what she uses, but just in her deviled eggs, like they are always the best deviled eggs, and I love them so much more. I don't know what's up about that, but I just love the deviled eggs so much. And I'm just like, give me these. I will eat all of these.
Are they sweeter deviled eggs or are they more salty?
They're sweeter. She doesn't use,
Does she use Miracle Whip?
No.
Does she use Miracle Whip?
Oh, okay. So she does use Miracle Whip. Never mind. And she adds sugar to it. So that's why I like them, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. But otherwise, I really like the deviled eggs. She made some ham too. I really like ham. Ham is some of my most favorite kind of meat to consume. So
would you say that your ham was kind of lonely?
I'm leaving this call.
As you should.
There is at my family, they have this tray for deviled eggs that it has like a little individual slot for each of the eggs, and underneath it is some letters. And once the plate is clear, it spells cock-a-doodle-doo. And my dad and my uncle love to specifically arrange them and get rid of just the part that says cock first, and just leave it there and be like, hey mom, check this out, Mom.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I want to make a Chinese checkerboard like egg dish, and then I just want like different types of deviled eggs to be battled out as you go. Like that's it.
Funny.
So, boys, what did we bring for our topics today?
Well, Gary said he wanted to go last. Sorry, I didn't make a thing ahead of time because I was so occupied with trying to get the chat plugin working. How about you go first, and then I'll go second, and then Agari?
All right, so we'll go ahead and start with me as I suddenly freeze like a deer in headlights.
That happens to the best of us, buddy. It's okay.
No, I'm actually here to talk about something I'm very passionate about. And you know, that has a lot to do with consumer rights in video games. Essentially, Steam is, I'm very mixed that it's Steam causing the move for this. Have either of you heard about Steam's new update to their terms of service coming with pre-orders and season passes?
I read the headline.
Yeah, about the same, honestly, too, as the headline.
So essentially, if I'm correct, I had to look again at my notes. I brought the wrong notebook with me. Essentially, they decided that if you're going to post a season pass for each of the individual like pieces of information inside that season pass, like each of those DLCs, there's two major changes that are going to happen. Is they have to give a generalized time of when that thing can be like when the game or when the DLC is supposed to be released. So it has to be within 3 months of that time as well, of that generalized time. So like, say if you say, I have four DLCs on this season pass. One of them will be released in fall of 2025. That fall is 3 months. That's when it's categorized, and that's when they have to do it. Now, Valve also says, hey, you can work with them and you can rearrange it up to another 3 months potentially. But after that, most publishers will be required to issue refunds. And that also goes for if any company decides to cancel DLC, essentially they will push that, like any portion of that DLC that's canceled will get pushed back and paid to that consumer. So say you get 4 DLC packs. You're buying this pass at $60, you'll get refunded about $15 if one of those packs get canceled.
Okay.
Which it's insane. That should have probably been an industry standard to begin with.
I got a question actually related to this. So let's say company B will be non-specific. Company B, not even company A, company B decides that they want to put out a DLC and they announce it for like spring of 2025, just throwing it out there. And then it turns out they need a lot more time to work on it, like more than just that 6 months. And so they issue the refunds. What happens to the people who are like, I don't give a shit, I just want to, just keep my pre-order, like I don't necessarily want the money back?
Well, that's the thing though. It's like if you want to, so when it comes to like Steam's refunding service, you're not automatically given that refund. You find out that it's been canceled, and if I'm correct, even if it's canceled, you'll have to still file for that refund yourself.
Okay.
So that's how I think that's going to work out. I'm not quite exactly sure when it comes to that.
So how is that different from what was before? Because if they announced a delay and I wasn't a fan,
this also goes for early access games too, and stuff like that. I don't know if you've like seen a lot of like the stuff that's been happening like the day before, and like all these other titles that have like these big massive promises and then just don't come through on them. This is pretty much giving consumers more of an opportunity to refund and get their money back because there's hardly any quality control in the gaming industry.
Chat says they explode.
They do explode
They
from
just
Captain
explode.
Froze.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Any other like questions? Like maybe you guys are wanting to think about it? I don't know. You.
I feel like this just kind of goes hand in hand with that new thing that Steam is doing too, where like they're letting you know, hey, you're not buying the game, you're just having a license for the game, right?
Yeah, this isn't directly updated with that update, but I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that like there are these massive gaming projects that are getting released, and people are upset. And I think Steam is trying to manage their image in this scenario because like we'll go back to the day before again. Say you bought that and played it on Steam, you're going to think to yourself, man, I had a shit experience with Steam, not the day before. And so I think that's why Steam is trying to regulate some level of control and quality. My big issue with this is that the fact that it's a company that's doing it. Why is this not just a normal thing for like consumer like laws? In the slightest, like,
well, I have a feeling that much like with the Steam, requiring devs to, what we mentioned before, I have a feeling that since Steam is going to push this may make more companies be more aware of this.
A large part of this is it's just Steam is starting to like push for more like refunds, like in general. Like if your product is not up to snuff, then consumers are going to have the right to refund your product. And I think this is also going to make Steam more popular in the long run because, you know, usually the platforms that are more consumer friendly will take off more, especially with like Steam being already and more not arguably niche, but I like to think that PC, like a lot of PC gamers are more researched on that shit because we have to like look into our parts. And so obviously we're going to read more into what platforms and programs we're using. And so I think it's very crucial that the educated person would probably go with more consumer friendliness.
I agree.
That's why I think unfortunately, I think Steam is going to have a monopoly in the PC gaming market forever.
So what do you think then about Epic Games then? Do you think they're going to retaliate with their Epic launcher and like also do this, or
I imagine with it being the more like that's the thing, because like Steam is already inherently the more popular platform. Right. It was there first, everyone's using it, and then, you know, Epic has a lot of its like security breaches and like people are already just are iffy on Epic. It's at a point now to where Epic is even putting games on Steam that launched the Epic launcher,
right?
Which that's another thing I would love to see, like gone, remove all mandatory second accounts.
Yeah.
It is getting obnoxious. It's getting bad. I hate that Xbox has to have if you use Xbox on PC, it has to have Blizzard and Riot open.
Right. I just bought Sims 3 because I wanted to play that randomly, and that was a whole process and a half to get to start playing it because I had to have an EA account, and also the game isn't really optimized for modern hardware, but that's a whole separate thing. But yeah, I find it super obnoxious that I have to have like 15 million accounts. On one hand, as we'll come to discuss in my topic here in a bit, I'm very against the idea of one video game company having monopolies over entire, you know, sections of the industry. But also at the same time, I don't really know what I would want other than to Steam to necessarily have a PC monopoly. Like, because otherwise we have all these millions of different accounts that we have to sign up for, and it is convenient to have everything in one place. But I guess my question is, what's the downside to Steam having the monopoly?
I mean, the biggest thing is price control. Like, if anything, like if there isn't another option, then Steam could just be like, all right, well, if we're the one place you can get PC games from, then who's to say we won't start charging $80 instead of $70?
Right.
Which it's already bad enough that I think game publishers are charging $70 when, especially when we're already going digital. Most games are digital now. People are all everyone's going digital, and so now I guess I need there to start being justification as to why you're charging me $70 now. And but that has nothing to do with the idea of like I don't necessarily think Steam would be the worst one to have a monopoly. I just think I believe in the free market a lot in general, and that, you know, monopolies aren't free market. But the more, if we're looking for a positive competitor, I think the positive competitor would be GOG Games.
Who is that?
I've never even heard of. Good Old Games is so it is a gaming platform that lets you directly install all of your games DRM free. There is no extra like secondary site. You buy them from them, you own them. They are owned by Project CD Red, I believe, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Yeah, essentially that, or at least they're in the same companies. And essentially they remove that outsource. That way, like say you're really, like you were saying, Sims 3, odds are you could probably go buy Sims 3 off of GOG and not have Origin or Steam or anything pop up on there. That's where Fallout London was put on to for a short time when that was released. That was the really big like Fallout conversion. That was pretty good. I didn't finish it myself because my game glitched out, but
I bought Sims 3 on Steam, and it still requires, I think it's just the way it's programmed for PC, it still requires.
Oh yeah, it's going to make you go through Origin no matter what. That's how it works. I mean, EA is always going to be a parasite.
It's not even Origin. It has its own specific launcher that it requires, and you have to like sign up with an EA account in order to launch the game. It's obnoxious.
Oh, it could always be games for Windows Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember getting Grand Theft Auto 4 for the PC, and it was for Windows Games Live or whatever, but it was like an actual disc version of it.
Dead Rising 2 off the record was games for Windows Live. So was Dead Rising 2. Fallout 3 in New Vegas also was. Oh, no, not New Vegas. Fallout 3 was games for Windows Live, though. And essentially, those were all like unplayable when that service died. That's how I know, because those were my favorite games. Anyways, aggressive throat clearing.
I have the Master Chief Collection on Windows 10.
I think a large part of this, though, is Steam gets a lot of negative pushback from poor products that are placed in their market. I understand why they're doing this. I think it's sad that this wasn't already a regulation to begin with, like when that companies can get away with just not delivering the product that they're paid for, and then they have the audacity to complain. Have you seen? I can't remember. I think it was Ubisoft's head. Someone complained that you shouldn't expect quality games like Baldur's Gate 3 all the time.
It was Ubisoft. It was
Ubisoft?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Go figure, it's Ubisoft.
And so, I got something else to say about Ubisoft, actually. We'll come back to that in a second here. I'm going to rotate around for this punch. Essentially,
It's going for the spin kick.
he's saying that you should not expect finished games. That's what made
Ridiculous.
Baldur's Gate 3 good. Ubisoft, it was finished. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ubisoft. But essentially, this leads into the Ubisoft thing. I'll bring this up real quick just because I'm going to fill this in. This isn't going to be a long discussion on this one topic.
Okay.
Ubisoft, are you all familiar with the Avatar tie-in game that came out with Avatar 2?
The Last Airbender Avatar? Or
No, Blue People
The movie.
Avatar.
The Blue People Avatar. I've heard about it, but I don't remember anything about it.
So I think it was like the Frontiers of Pandora or something like that. It looked like Far Cry mixed with Avatar from James Cameron, which, that's fine. I'm surprised they didn't do that sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they did have an Avatar game for 360, I believe. It was really short. It was one of those. Essentially, they made this game and they decided midway through to release DLC for it, like $15 DLC. All right, yeah, it's Ubisoft. They're always going to release DLC. Now, the problem is if you're playing it and say I have the DLC and Gabe doesn't, and I want Gabe to join me in this cooperative mission because I guess there's co-op in the game. The reason why I'm so vague on this is I haven't actually played it myself. But if I were to invite Gabe when he doesn't have the DLC, it will hard lock his save file and will not let him get back into his save file without the DLC.
What?
So I invite Gabe. Gabe joins the mission. Gabe's game will probably crash or either checkpoint. And then essentially Gabe will have to pay $15 for the DLC to get his save file back.
That is so dumb.
Is this an oversight bug or is this an intentional feature?
I believe it's an oversight bug, but the problem is this has apparently been happening for months. And then some of the players there have made support cases with Ubisoft, and rather than fix that, Ubisoft decided to instead just close their case and acknowledge that, yeah, there's a bug. We're not going to fix it.
What the fuck? That's fucked up.
Now, I guess the game didn't do well, but I mean, it's a shame that they retroactively destroyed because apparently there's a couple posts made of it, and I watched a video on this personally myself, and I thought that was very that does not look good. Ubisoft's already been getting hit left and right. It's kind of crazy that they would openly have something like this where they're just not taking care of a product that they release to their consumers. Between them deciding to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows and thinking that none of that's going to fix its problems, it's just
That's awful.
I think absolutely gamers should always have access to the products that they purchase unless it's a live service game.
Yeah,
Because a live service game, it makes sense to me if the servers are down, you're not going to be able to play it. I understand that's just the time spot line. But when it comes to a game like this, where it's a single player cooperative experience story, why am I getting locked out of my game because I didn't pay for your expansion pass? You
I was
should have
gonna
maybe.
say, oh, sorry.
I'm gonna say why was I just not blocked from joining the game?
Right.
Right. I was gonna say because didn't like older games on like the 360 used to do that, like Halo 3 for example. If you didn't have like the Mythic DLC, you couldn't play the games and you couldn't join your friends.
It just wouldn't let you pick that lobby. It wouldn't let you pick
then
that
why not
queue
just
up.
do that same shit? Like
And
that
why
doesn't
not
make sense.
fix the bug?
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
What
That's the biggest
is
thing
the
to me.
game? Did the game not sell enough for you to warrant sending one guy over there to fucking fix this?
I mean,
Right. Like what?
It doesn't sound like it'd be that hard to implement like a check.
I mean,
Does own
that's the
DLC,
thing, like,
yes or no? If
games
yes,
still do
allow
that.
join.
Like, do they Payday 2 still does that?
Right.
Where, well, at least Payday 2 is a bad example because Payday, if one person owns the DLC and they host, everyone can join it and play. Which that is my favorite way to do it. Vermintide does that as well. Vermintide 1 and 2. I think Darktide will if they ever do DLC. But essentially, if you ever play, Vermintide lets you like host the game, and then you guys who don't want to pay for DLC can just come play with me, and then I'll be like, "Let's go, boys!"
Mario Kart 8 does that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Booster
yep.
Course DLC.
there's so like Mario that and the Booster Course DLC is already very easy to get a hold of because the Family Pass or whatever is super cheap.
Well, I don't know about super cheap, but
Well, it's like $40, $50 for the year, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, it could be worse, but it's
If you join from Captain Froze, if you join a lobby in World or Rise that has their respective expansions, you can still join the lobby. Civ 6 does that. Civ will stop you from launching the lobby if you don't have the DLC. Austin and I did that recently because I taught him how to play Civ 6.
Yep.
Which we
and I
should
tried
do
to
that
join the
again.
lobby, and then I agree. We should definitely play Civ again.
If not that, Age of Wonders 3, I think you would really like that game too.
Ooh, okay. I've been.
my grandma likes
R4.
Civ.
Civ is I'm very excited for the new Civ coming back.
Civ 7.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be playing that when it releases. It really depends. I'm trying not to spend my money on games as much anymore.
Fair.
I have such a big backlog. So that's right, game developers and publishers.
If you never buy a recent game again, you still have enough unplayed games to last you at least 10 years. I've seen your Steam account.
Yeah, I'm good. That's not even counting the ones that are forever. You know what, opponent Jeff? You have Civ and you haven't learned how to play. Well, I'm gonna teach you.
We're gonna.
That's gonna be the ending of this game. That's gonna be the new ending of this episode.
That's gonna be the new WaterMelvin channel gimmick. Is this just Civ? Tutorial stuff.
I could. I mean, I know how to play on deity and win.
No.
Deity is the hardest difficulty in that game. But
Is it okay if I veer off for a quick second here?
yeah, I'm done. I'm done yapping. I've took
No,
up most
you're
of the time.
good. I just so it's actually completely unrelated, but
Just as long as you don't mention what was the game I mentioned and not to mention to me. Oh yeah, don't do that. Keep going.
oh yeah, I remember the game. Yeah.
Helldivers?
Oh, I love Helldivers.
No, but just kind of like going to the conversation of like a back catalog of games that you were playing and that you have whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I still have like all the Mass Effects again. I still need to beat 2 and 3.
I'm still working through Mass Effect. I just got a steering wheel with a shifter.
I saw your
I have
post on
been
this.
playing. Oh yeah.
Is it?
I
Do
have
you have this
been-
post on like Instagram anywhere or anything like that, or like
on his
Twitter?
Blue Sky, I think.
Oh yeah, go look at Agari's Blue Sky to see his truck simulator setup.
Yeah, no, I've been driving truck like every morning almost, and I just downloaded Assetto Corsa because
Is
it was
this-
on sale for $5.
So when are you gonna apply for your
I was
CDL?
gonna say, yeah, is this
Yeah,
gonna
right.
be you becoming do it? It pays really well actually.
I'm gonna be a space trucker.
That is I don't know how well that game will work on your wheel.
He could be like Olimar in Pikmin. That's what he
Well-
does. He does space trucking.
The way with the way that it works with American Truck Simulator is that because with most trucks they have obviously more than 6 gears, so you have to set it up to where a button will make you go through the first 6 gears, and then you got to hit the second button to go through the next 12 gears.
Well, I mean, with if you haven't played Space Trucker yet, Space Trucker is very similar, but the problem with that is there's a whole third axis.
Oh, geez.
because you got your up and down, and then
So you
left
need
and
one of
right.
those like Microsoft Flight Sim consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Truck Simulator or Space Trucker would work better with that. I have played Space Trucker though, and if anyone hasn't, I recommend that. It's a very relaxing experience if that's your jam. I
have to look
personally
into
enjoyed it for one playthrough.
Space
Yeah.
Trucker, huh?
I gotta
it's
be
free.
in the mood. It's on your Game Pass.
I don't
Yeah,
have
get
Game
another
Pass
wheel for
anymore.
up and down.
Yeah, right.
Actually, that makes sense. No, there's throttle shifters. You can do actually get the Microsoft Flight. Whoopie doopie.
The
Fucking
Joopy Doopy. I like
This
the
is
Joopy
shoopy
Doopy.
doopy. Show me the shoopy doopy.
lately, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 1 on Captain Fro said they personally launch Monster Hunter when they want to relax. My game recently has been Red Dead Redemption 1.
I've
Oh,
been
what a
playing Animal
classic.
Crossing again. I
Me
got Marshall.
I also have been playing Animal Crossing again.
I got Marshall naturally, no amiibo, 3 towns in a row. How the fuck does that happen? There's
It's coded for you.
500 There's 500 villagers in these games, and that's probably my favorite one too. So how did I get him 3 times? And I wasn't even grinding for it. I just used 1 Nook Miles ticket, and he was there. I was like, what are you doing here? Join my town, motherfucker.
he literally. Oh, there's a bot.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
We're good.
Um.
His name was Teenage Bobby. Sorry.
Oh my
Way to
god.
connect it back.
Yeah.
They heard us talking about King of the Hill.
What if that's true? What if that's the reason why they set their name to Teenage Bobby? It was that's wild to me.
Yeah, American Truck Sim has been my go-to chill game recently, just because I don't know why. It's just I really like that simulation of just long driving.
You
And
should absolutely look into getting a CDL.
I don't think I would like trucking in real life because
Dude,
I
you
hate
should
trucks in real life.
You should try it though.
No,
you
I
know,
would not.
Well,
it's
maybe
free.
maybe don't drive a semi, but you could get a CDL to be
do a
bus
boxcar,
driver
a bus
bus-
driver.
Mhm.
You can become a band bus driver guy.
Yeah, right,
Drive band for us while we do
Yeah.
our hit metal band boot.
We just start barking like dogs, and that's the song.
Did you guys ever hear the story that I talked to about with somebody about making a metal band that was just called Jigglypuff, and all the lyrics were just us screaming
I
Jigglypuff?
think we've talked about this. I don't know if it was on Pixel Pulse, but I seem to recall something like this.
I remember. So I did. There's this thing called Suno or whatever. It's an AI song generator, and I just decided I typed into it. I was like, make a metal song about Jigglypuff, and all the lyrics are just Jigglypuff. And it just goes off, and it's just all like Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, and that's it, the entire song.
Jigglypuff,
That's all it is. That's all it is.
So does that mean we're gonna play Smash Bros so I can pull out the Jigglypuff on you too?
if you start doing the metal Jigglypuff.
Only when I get the 2 kills. Let's keep staying on topic. What were you saying, Austin, beforehand?
I mean,
you were
there's just,
talking about the American Truck Simulator.
yeah,
Yes.
that's just been my kind of chill game recently. I was just kind of spinning off a little bit of our conversation because we mentioned the backlog of games, and I'm like, oh yeah, now I'm playing more games that are putting more other games into my backlog.
So recently, I started playing Call of Duty, and I've been playing with this one friend of mine, the one friend that you met recently, Austin.
Okay.
And her and I have been playing. I found out recently that she blind as hell.
Yeah.
She blind as hell, and her way of learning how to play Call of Duty is she memorizes the spawn spots and then just pre-fires them. She can't even say her. I found out that her entire vision is based on movement. So
Really?
when we're playing hardcore Call of Duty, she'll instantly kill me. I'm so proud of her. She'll dome the hell out of me immediately in
Damn.
hardcore Call because we're allies though. It's funny. She'll get 2 of them off, and if we play Nuketown, she usually gets a double kill on me.
Damn.
She's great. She's fantastic. Her reflexes are amazing, but boy is she blind. My
That's
favorite
funny.
person to play that game with immediately.
Yeah.
Gabriel,
That's
what have you
awesome.
been playing?
Well, other than Animal Crossing, like I said, I've been playing Sims. Sims 3.
Oh, you did get that working actually?
I did eventually get it working. It kind of still runs like ass. I'm working on trying to get some optimization mods working for it, but I made a character named Douglas Mann, and he's a kleptomaniac. He's going to be the best jewel thief in the world. And then I made my real life cat Cleo, and I named her Douglas Dog.
Douglas Dog.
So there's Douglas Man and Douglas Dog. That's the whole household.
I love that.
Is it man with 2 N's?
Nope. Just man.
Can you change it to 2 N's so that way it's a TF2 tie-in?
I was going to say no one's going to care about your TF2 tie-in, damn it.
There's 1,000 people who play TF2 still.
I've never played TF2. And
My God.
Part of me wanted to play TF2 like a couple years back.
You should install it and then we'll get Xenosys to come out and play with you.
The problem is I feel like it's one of those games that the only people that are still playing it are going to be like sweat tryhards.
Nope, not anymore.
Not really?
No, it's still free. It's still one of the biggest free-to-play games on Steam.
I just mean like the people who are like actively still playing it, because it's like what, 14 years old?
Yeah, but the game's not actually that hard to get into. It's very even like say you want to just be a medic, you can just come follow one of us and like heal us, and it's real easy. You just hold the beam on top of us. Or if you want to sit there and be defensive, you can play as engineer and build sentries up and build dispensers to heal your teammates and give ammo. Or if you want to be a big guy with machine gun, you can be heavy. There's a lot of
I like heavy weapons, guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of different
of YouTube.
There's a lot of different options you can have. Pyro's a really good one that's beginner friendly, but you can also go and take Pyro and then like master them with different like other things. Like a lot of your loadouts with your weapons change how that character is played, and they let you try all weapons out in the store. They give you free weapons every like once. That's the big ding that keeps you coming back, is you get the and then you go and click it and you get items. And then you're like, dopamine.
And then you open boxes.
And then you open crates if you want. It's one of those. But TF2, I do recommend trying. There's also a PvE mode called Man vs. Machine. That's really fun.
It's one of those games. Like I have my backlog mostly, like I've played most of the games that I own, but the games that are retro, quote unquote, that I haven't played are mostly like all like the big heavy hitters that I missed, like TF2. Halo 3 will probably be the next first person shooter that I'm gonna play at some point.
It's interesting those are considered retro to you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
hey, that means we're old.
I mean, anything more than like 7 years is retro to me. Like at this point, Breath of the Wild is starting to feel retro, because like
it has almost been like 10 years. Let's go ahead and move on to our actual topic next. Mr. Gabriel, do you have anything? Captain Froze says Wii, DS, and 360 is the peak of retro. I think it's the most freshest retro, the newest retro. I don't know. I guess I'm old to the point where I think PlayStation 2 is retro now.
I kind of agree with Melvin. Like, there's like an old retro, and then there's like a new retro.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My bad, Froze. He means right now.
Yeah.
Which, that's fair. I don't know. I'm just weird. I guess I'm stuck in a time in my head. I mean, I used to have a CRT and still played PlayStation 2.
I remember when we lived together, Melvin, and you'd play that CRT, and I could
hear the buzzing noise.
Hear the high-pitched buzzing noise. I'm like, oh, someone's playing Resident Evil 2.
Melvin, you remember when I first got my...
Now he's playing Budokai 2 again.
You remember when I got my first plasma TV, Melvin?
Yeah, you remember when I gave you the special cords for the 360? Like,
because I didn't have it.
And it looked so much better. And then I was like, just take the cord. Yeah, you're good. We played fucking Red Dead, and man, the midnight release for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, that was the time.
We got free pizza. It was like 3 in the morning. Yeah, that is retro.
Yeah, that's retro.
Midnight releases are dog water now, unfortunately.
I haven't done a midnight release since I think Mario Odyssey was the last one.
My last one that I remember was for the Switch.
Mine was Scarlet and Violet. I took my brother.
I just get games digitally, and so since I work second shift, by the time I get home,
They're just installed in there.
It's installed, it's ready. By the time I get home, it's around midnight because I work second shift. So like if I'm playing a game day one digitally, I already have it when I get home. It's
I absolutely hate when games don't midnight release their stuff anymore. I hate that it's always like 10 a.m. for like certain games on Steam.
Nintendo games are pretty consistently midnight. But anyways, so for my topic today, I don't know how much discussion we're really going to have around this subject, but I wanted to bring it up. It seemed really important. Have either of you two heard of the Kadokawa acquisition letter and that whole story regarding Sony purchasing Kadokawa, which is a Japanese media conglomerate?
I've heard a little bit about this, and I've heard a lot of negativity around it. That's all I've really heard much of.
So what are some of the properties that Kadokawa owns?
So Kadokawa is primarily a like anime and manga company. They own a lot of different I believe like Attack on Titan is one of them. I don't know all of the anime and manga side off the top of my head. But where this is relevant is they do own, I believe, 5 video game studios, and among them is FromSoft.
Among Us. Sorry.
So
we're doing this again?
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. So if Sony were to go all in on the Kadokawa acquisition, Sony already owns a small, I think 13% stake in FromSoft, and Kadokawa owns like 70 some percent, which would push, I believe, the final number up to 81% of FromSoft would be owned by Sony Global Interactive or whatever, which basically is not a good idea. I mean, aside from the fact of Sony in general having a damn near monopoly on the entire anime industry because they just purchased Crunchyroll.
Didn't they
purchased Funimation?
Yeah.
So, and Kadokawa already owns like pretty much any manga produced in Japan goes through Kadokawa in some shape or fashion, from what I understand. I'm not the expert on that side of it, but I've done a lot of research into it, and that's the general gist that I keep hearing is Kadokawa is very big when it comes to Japanese entertainment, like just full stop right there. Obviously, I'm more concerned about the video game end of it. Sony owning FromSoft could be nice because we could see...
Give me back my Bloodborne, you bastards!
Yeah, we could see Bloodborne maybe actually get pushed. But the thing is, I don't think that that's like, oh yeah, if Sony purchases them, that's going to be something that they do. Because, I mean, just look at Microsoft and their buying spree. Sure, it's a completely separate company, but
yeah,
Microsoft buys companies all the time, and what the fuck do they do with them?
They have them make a Hi-Fi Rush and then close down their studio.
Right? So, here's what... I've never played very many FromSoft games. In fact, I've played none at all. But from what I understand, the sentiment of that company to be is that they mostly operate independently, and they very rarely fuck shit up. Like, sure, I'll have my hang-ups about, like, Elden Ring being in TGA nominees again, but it's to be stated that Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, these are fantastic games.
Genre-defining.
And, yeah, and for it to be owned by a major corporation who... let's be honest, probably doesn't really see the value in it outside of the numbers. I'm very concerned with the prospect of Sony owning this company and quite possibly having a monopoly over Nintendo. Or not Nintendo, over video game companies. But why Nintendo was in my mind is because recently Japan passed a law that actually enables this to all happen. Kadokawa and other such companies are all at risk of forced buyouts now, way more than they used to be in Japan. there is like I guess a rumor going around that the reason why Kadokawa approached, which they did, Kadokawa apparently approached Sony to make this acquisition happen because some Korean company was also looking at potentially buying out Kadokawa.
And well, if the Japanese like one thing, they like other Japanese people.
Yeah. And considering there is no laws in Japan anymore that really prevent like hostile buyouts, if Sony were to absorb Kadokawa, I feel like there would be very little stopping them from absorbing Nintendo as well, or pretty much, yeah, fully going whole hog with the Japanese entertainment monopoly. And that's just a frightening prospect to me, because I see what's going on with the PS5 Pro, and I don't agree with it. It seems like very sketchy. Like, I've never been a fan of Sony, the company. There are certain Sony-owned games that I've been very interested in, but Sony, the company, I've always had like a bit of I don't really like what they do. I feel that way with Nintendo in a lot of ways too, but Sony especially feels like intentionally scummy, and just like they push business more than anything. And if censorship is a thing that's important to you, Sony is also very involved with trying to get themselves sold in China, which, means that they push censorship a lot more in their games to make it more of like a global acceptance, which I'm not going to get into that whole debate, but it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. Is I've seen a lot of people be like, yeah, this would be great for Kadokawa, but I'm like, I don't know.
Doesn't Kadokawa own some developers that are currently working for Nintendo currently?
Yes, so that's the other thing. So Mario and Luigi RPG just came out. The Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Is that any good? Have you tried it yet?
It's pretty good. It starts off slow. We'll get into that in a moment, but it's a decent game. It's the first Mario and Luigi game in almost 10 years since the shutdown of Alpha Dream. So that whole franchise went into development hell, or like licensing hell more like. And they ended up giving it to the devs behind Octopath Traveler.
Oh,
I forget the name of that off the top of my head, but that is...
Well, I thought Octopath was Square Enix.
Published by Square.
Oh, okay.
That is one of those devs that is owned by Kadokawa. So if they were to absorb this, Mario and Luigi would once again go into
purgatory,
needing to find a new developer, which is a shame because Brothership is very good. Like I said, it starts off admittedly very weak, but then it becomes excellent. I've heard a lot of people even say that this is the best Mario and Luigi out of the entire series. I haven't finished yet, so I can't really make that statement. But so far, it's pretty damn good. I don't know if I would go so far to say that's just yet, but I from what I'm hearing, the ending is like super solid. But that's beside the point. Anyways, that was a lot of me rambling. What are your guys' thoughts on this whole fucking conundrum kerfuffle?
I think it's interesting that there isn't a lot of protection laws based around hostile takeovers on companies. I don't necessarily see Nintendo getting taken over by Sony at any point. I think it'd be very funny because Nintendo snuffed Sony back then when they made the 64 over the PlayStation.
Well, that was more... The history on that is kind of weird. It was more like Sony was trying to dick Nintendo over with that, from what I understand.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they went with Philips CDI, and look how that played out for them. I won't deny that was obviously one so. I think it's very. It's just very unfortunate that I don't want to see. I don't it's a free market. I prefer free market. But we'll see what happens. I don't think Sony's going to do anything drastically changing.
I do have to remember that Microsoft, Phil Spencer, had leaked emails earlier this year where he privately was discussing trying to make a forced buyout of Nintendo. And if there's ever a company that could do it, it would either be Sony or Microsoft. Microsoft is very rich. They could afford it, maybe.
Microsoft is literally the company that says, yeah, our gaming company loses money, but what do you want right now?
Yeah. I don't think any company should really be bought out unless they're like actually struggling for funds. Like, to me, this is a whole concept of economics that I didn't even fucking realize was a thing until like a year or two ago when I heard about like Microsoft making forced buyouts of some companies. And I'm just like, what is the advantage to a forced buyout? Because that's like so expensive for the company. And then like, as we see with Microsoft, they have to shut down other studios just to like make even on the purchase, you know? Like, at least initially. That's part of the reason why we saw Hi-Fi Rush studio get shut down.
So I guess I'll put this in terms of like fast food. We'll look at it in fast food.
Okay.
So say in this scenario, Sony is McDonald's and Nintendo is Burger King. Both are competitors. Both will take revenue from the other. Now, if McDonald's ever is presented with an opportunity to buy Burger King, I think they would absolutely do that and either A, kill Burger King so they no longer have that option and they'll be forced to more so to go to McDonald's, or B, they'll just run it the same exact way, but then do slow McDonald's changes to the Burger King. But that all also further integrates the fact that soda companies actually owns fast food. But I guess the idea is you do horizontal purchasing to eliminate your competition to have more control on the market.
But what was the strategic advantage to Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard? That's not necessarily
Activision. So I guess the bigger way you should look at it is Nintendo is up there with Sony and Microsoft. They're more of a weird hybrid of publisher and developer. And that's a big thing is like when I think of like the big three, it's Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo. I don't see EA, Activision, Ubisoft. Those are all developer companies and stuff like that. Obviously, they're publishers too, but not one of the big three. And so the way I imagine it is with them buying Activision and Blizzard, they bought them so that way they can get exclusivity rights to those individual IPs that those companies own. So that's why you see Call of Duty on Game Pass. How many people have Game Pass right now for Call of Duty? I bought Game Pass for Call of Duty. Like, it's just a large part of that comes down to with like smaller companies being bought up, owning their exclusives.
Yeah, and then the chat brings up a good point. Sony has shut down their Japan studio as well, more becoming like an American company than a Japanese one as well, which is another thing where like it can bring some concern to the whole Kadokawa, purchase buyout where it's more of a bigger deal for anime than it is for games.
But I mean, it's still a very good prime example of a big three. One of the big three consuming another one.
Yeah.
So it'd be the idea of if all three of them work together to form one super company, that would pretty much mean that all exclusives would be available, but then they'd have complete pricing control. I guess another one to look at it would be like, say, oil companies competing with each other. You buy out this other person, you get access to their oil, and then their product becomes yours. It's all about the capitalism game at the end of the day. And if, Sony's no longer more of a Japanese company, but who is the biggest country with the capitalism? Us. America. So it's probably very reasonable that they'd want to emulate American business ethics and policies.
Gary, you've been quiet for a while. How you doing, bub?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still kind of processing this all because I'm not huge into the economic stuff about video games.
I unfortunately very much love economics. And
it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't follow it. It's just, because when I think about video games, I think about just playing the game and mind numbing and not really thinking about what's going on in the outside world. I'm slowly trying to get to that point of trying to understand more about the economics and the baselines about video games and, what's going on in the video game world. Admittedly, I'm just kind of left in the dark, even though Melvin's helping me out and stuff and giving me good what's the word?
It is I am trying to break down, so it is a very complicated subject, especially because I guess another way, I figured out a better way to explain this. So there's two types of monopolies you can have. There's horizontal, which is like, say you and me make bread. You and I are competing with each other. We're only making bread. You and I don't just sell it. We don't like move it. We don't transport it. We don't do any logistical things like that. The horizontal expansion would be me buying your bread company to have more bread. What I think the difference between Microsoft and like Nintendo and Sony is they're more vertical monopolies, where Microsoft is developing their games, Microsoft is publishing their games, Microsoft is shipping their games, Microsoft has the system that you're building your games on, the engine. Nintendo is developing their own exclusives. They develop their hardware to put their exclusives on. Odds are they're publishing their own games and they're shipping their own games where they need to be. Same with Sony. That kind of is what makes Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft different from, say, like, yes, Ubisoft and like EA and stuff have their own digital storefronts, but obviously their storefronts are not as taken off as Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and Nintendo is. So a large part of that vertical integration is console storefronts, if you think of it that way as well. The reason why like Steam is big is because Steam was the pretty much their vertical monopoly of developing a platform that they can publish to and ship out and then get it to the masses. So that's what makes them the big three versus like other smaller companies like that, I guess, is if we're trying to break it down. Does that kind of make more sense on that one?
Yeah, the wife is putting the trash bag in there. Sorry.
The biggest thing you want is the cleaner monopoly is the vertical monopoly. If you can, like Walmart, for instance, they wanted to get in onto the dairy market. So Walmart decided to entirely buy their own like logistics company to ship their dairy. They bought an actual dairy and converted it into a Walmart branded milk. That's why Walmart has their own milk now. They can sell at a lower price. And they're all in charge of selling it in their own stores. That's kind of what a vertical integration is, and that's what it sounds like Sony would have with Kadokawa, I believe. Or Kadokawa, my bad, sorry. Kadokawa is the car.
Kawasaki?
Yeah, sure.
But, I mean, yeah, I'm trying my best to get a better understanding of, like,
and it's okay if you don't. Like, it is a lot to take in, and realistically, it doesn't affect us realistically.
I hate to say it in like the manner of like I don't care, because of course I do care. It's just like I don't understand it fully. So
it's one of those it is what it is situations. We're not going to have control of whether or not this happens. Right. We can just choose either. And as always, I want to circle back for everyone listening. If you disagree with a product, if you think that product is stupid or in any way or form you don't like that product, don't purchase that product.
Yep.
Period. Don't if you think if GTA 6 comes out and they want $120 for it, I'm not gonna buy it.
Nope. Nope.
That's it. That's because if you buy that $120 GTA 6, that will become the industry standard.
Right. And I also want to clarify. I didn't want to bring this topic to Pixel Pulse just to be like doom posting either. I figured it'd be good to like just to have the information out there for everyone to be aware that this is a thing that's trying to happen. I obviously know that, within our power, there's not much even like not buying a Sony game would really do to change this. Like if it happens, that sort of deal. But I don't know. I think it's important to be aware that this is happening and just like remember that it happened.
I do want to circle back. You said anime fans are the ones that are probably going to get affected by this. I certainly hope that Sony, if they do, I hope everyone remembers anime fans are probably one of the biggest fandoms to just go and pirate their stuff.
Right.
Anime fans don't care. They'll just pirate your shit.
Right.
Like they've been doing it before because there was never American releases before. It was always impossible to get anime. You would have to go and get like weird translated off sites. Heck, there's websites like Anywave out there now where you can just make your own account and they keep their own like watch list of like pirated shows. It's crazy. And it's like Anime fans will just boycott you, and they will just go do something else. Dragon Ball Daima. Anyways, keep going.
Well, what's up? Wait, so have you been watching Daima? I
Not at
haven't.
all. I've been waiting for the whole season to come out. I'm just gonna binge it.
No, okay.
Because I mean, the downside to Dragon Ball Daima is it also just doesn't have the same appeal as Dragon Ball Super or Z.
Mm-hmm.
It's Baby Goku again, and as much as they don't want it to hurt the series, it is gonna hurt that. It's gonna hurt that series, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because people see Baby Goku and think, "Nah, I'm good." People are unfortunately no longer nostalgic for Z and Dragon Ball. They're just now nostalgic for Super.
Mm-hmm.
Agari, what do you got for us today?
Yeah. What's your topic,
Well,
bub?
Kind of staying in the realm of nostalgia here. Admittedly, I couldn't find a good topic for today, so I'm gonna
That's
bring
just
in
from
something.
lack of looking, boy.
Yeah, it's just
I was joking. I didn't mean to actually call you out.
no, you're good. It's just there's just not many articles that like I can find that I am interested in talking about.
All right,
And,
well,
It just it might just be my picky tastes, honestly, but I mean, I was just like, I can just go back in a nostalgia vision because
Yeah. So what you got?
lately I've been doing a lot of Lego building on stream, and a lot of the stuff that I collect via Lego is Star Wars based.
Yeah.
And I was talking about it on my stream, I think it was this morning when I was finishing up the Lego Dark Falcon that I had gotten, that I was talking about how I want to start playing more Star Wars games again. Because I remember going through a lot of the Star Wars games, and I had a lot of just nostalgia based for that. What are you doing?
I forgot there's a camera. My bad.
But
I forgot Gabe turned it on.
yeah, I could see that.
Oh, whoops. Keep going. I'm sorry. I am listening.
No, you're fine. It's just like I've been kind of getting into this nostalgia fever. I want to go back and I want to play some old Star Wars games. I remember
I've been thinking about doing KOTOR soon again.
I love KOTOR. KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, for those who don't know KOTOR, is one of my most absolute favorite game series of all time in Star Wars. It was
originally developed by BioWare. That's a fun fact, by the way, for those of you who love Mass Effect. BioWare is the developer for Knights of the Old Republic. It is a little bit aged, but essentially it takes place as a prequel series to Star Wars 2,000 years before the actual movies happened. And you get to explore a Star Wars universe that is fantastically done. I've always been a fan of the Star Wars universe that isn't the mainline series. I love the slice of life ones or anything. Like my favorite thing about the Star Wars Christmas special was the B. Arthur hanging out in the cantina in Tatooine.
I just recently watched A New Hope over Thanksgiving too, so this is kind of relevant.
It's just I very much enjoy that. I actually I didn't hate the Star Wars Christmas special. I can't stand the Wookiee parts without subtitles, but at the same time, you just get to see what Christmas Day is to the Wookiees is.
Gabe, those glasses are killer.
Thank you. For those
you look like a Wario, kind of.
Yeah, for those, I mean, no one can see me, but I'm wearing these like really big eyelash, like pink sparkle sunglasses right now. They just look comfortable, so I put them on my face.
Yeah, fair enough. But
for me, I've only played like a handful of Star Wars games, namely the Lego ones. I'm trying to think. Have I even played any other Star Wars games? I don't think I have. I think I've only actually played the Lego Star Wars game.
I think we have only played the Lego Star Wars.
I know you and I have played Lego, like the new Lego Star Wars, which I ended up liking. Mostly.
I guess we can go into this for me and Austin. Then Austin, what's your favorite Star Wars game? Or Gary, what's your favorite Star Wars game?
It's fine. You could say my name. I've said it already.
No, it's a dirty swear word.
But Knights of the Old Republic 2 is
just
my
like
most
pee-pee
favorite
shoes.
Star Wars game. Pee-pee shoes.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, pee-pee shoes.
Knights of the Wait, what? 2?
Knights of the Old Republic 2 is my favorite.
Why 2?
Because I like how 2 plays. I like how I know it's similar to the first one, but I like
that little
it.
Neelis guy with his skull mask, didn't you?
Okay,
with his
maybe a little bit.
planet drinking.
Maybe a little. Yes, dude. Is he not the coolest Sith ever though? He
Yeah,
can
so for
literally drain
context,
planets.
The main villain for Knights of the Old Republic 2 could just drink planets like a fruit punch, like a juice pack.
Yeah, like
What
just
do
a
you mean
juice
drink
box.
them?
Like he just drinks the life force from them with his force. Like
Does he have like a big sippy straw?
he has a force suck ability.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's quite literally
Like Kirby?
force suck.
Or
Yeah, kind of like Galactus.
Think like a really evil Kirby. Yeah, that
Yeah,
just
just like-
sucks everything up
Evil
and kills
Kirby.
them.
He just eats it. I don't know how he do it, but he just goes.
Uh-huh.
See, I wouldn't mind playing through Knights of the Old Republic 2. For those of you who have it, if you play it on PC, there's actual cut content that you can get restored into the
Mhm.
game. And that
And I
is what I
played with
haven't tried it to. I guess that's something I'm missing out on. I haven't played it with the cut content yet.
is this
Playing it-
is this the game that recently got remastered?
It was going to be.
It was going to be.
Oh, and got canceled?
That was from what, Sony 2, actually?
I
Sony
think
was going to
so.
remake that.
I think so.
And I think they cut it too, because they were going to do the first one. And then they had like this insane preview for Revan in the first one, and then they cut it. It was a
Heartbreaking.
huge disappointment. I was
Tragedy.
very sad about that. Knights of the Old Republic
so-
remake.
What are is there any Star Wars games you're looking to play in race soon?
So, with the idea of me wanting to go back into Star Wars games, I had done, what is it? Some of the newer Star Wars games. I wouldn't say the newest one, not like Outlaws, but what is it? The Jedi Fallen Order. I played that game many of times, and I love that game to death. And I even did it on stream for, excuse me, I'm burping.
Did you
A
beat
while there.
Grandmaster yet?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was doing it on Grandmaster on stream, but then I stopped playing it after a while.
So did
And
you
I
do
was like-
Grandmaster with no deaths yet?
No, I counted my deaths with Grandmaster, but I don't. I want to get back into it because I still need to play the second version of that. It's not Fallen Order. It's the second
Survivor.
Jedi Survivor. Yes, that's
Jedi
the one.
Survivor, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I
I
want to
still
play
haven't
that one.
touched that. I don't know. I lost interest about halfway through Fallen Order, unfortunately.
I loved Fallen Order. I
got
had
to
so much fun with that
Kashyyyk,
one.
and I was going on Kashyyyk through the whole AT-AT sequence or AT or whatever the hell you want to call them. Camels! Robo camels.
I
Robo
prefer the
camels.
neutral route at AT.
Melee!
Melee. But I really liked those games. I haven't played Outlaw, because I was like, I've heard a lot of bad things, and I've heard a lot of people say to not play it.
It is very if you guys are gonna play Outlaw, just pirate it. They don't deserve money for it.
Yeah, and I just I don't know. I've been wanting to get back into this because another one that I really wanted to play because I remember enjoying the old Lego Star Wars games. I remember playing the ever living crap out of
Have you played the new
1
one?
and 2. I have the new one. I played a little bit of it, and I like it, but it's different. It is way
different. It is very different. You can get the complete saga on Steam.
I think I have
played it on Steam, the complete saga, a little bit, just casually, like 4 months ago or so, just randomly. It definitely has some modern graphic card compatibility issues, definitely. And it's funny because like it'll absorb your screen and then it'll change the resolution of your screen to be like 360p, and then it's really annoying to try to get your mouse out of the game when you're done
I
with it.
remember that.
Knights of the Old Republic 1 does that.
Yeah. I gotta say my favorite Star Wars games. I loved Jedi Knight Academy.
Oh, that was a great game. Sorry.
Jedi Knight Academy. I didn't get into Jedi Outcast 2 as much.
Outcast 2 was okay. It was like more of the story for Kyle Katarn.
Yeah, which I didn't care for Kyle Katarn because I don't know. I liked Jedi. I played Jedi Academy first.
Well, the
as a
whole
kid.
idea of like having your own Jedi and like making
then a
your own
moment of
lightsaber
silence.
and stuff.
Oh yeah, that too. That literally it was the best fucking. And then you also choose at some point to be evil by just smacking your best friend who was a dick
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
it was
it's
great.
it's The story to that was so good.
I remember I accidentally picked the good route when I first played through it. Because I said, all right, motherfucker, I'm going to swap weapons before I blow you away. Because they give you the lightsaber to cut him down. And so I swapped my like favorite gun to shoot him with. And as soon as I did that, it was like, you made the good decision. You didn't cut your friend to death. I'm like, but I want to shoot him still.
Yeah, let me shoot him. I don't want to use the lightsaber. I want to use my gun.
Josh doesn't deserve to be my friend.
Rosh.
I don't care. He doesn't deserve to have his name said either.
That's fair.
A moment of silence for the Star Wars Battlefront remasters. We're never gonna get Star Wars Battlefront remastered now because of them. They fucked it up. They said, oh, it did bad. Now they're never gonna do it again because they said, let's just give one server to everyone for this popular game that everyone wants to remade.
It's so sad what they did to that. I wish that it would have been better. I wish they would have done better with it. And it's saddening.
If you could remaster any Star Wars game right now, not counting your favorite one that we just had, not Knights of the Old Republic, what would be a weird and niche choice you would have remastered?
Lego Indiana Jones 2.
Was there a second one of those?
Yes.
What?
It included Crystal Skull. It was the first 3 movies, and then
they just said let's include Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah. The Wii version of that was actually goated. It had like a really in-depth level editor that you could like do like actual programming in. It was crazy.
I would like the Rogue Squadron games back if you guys haven't played those.
Rogue Squadron remastered would be sick.
Lego James Bond canceled and had a whole trailer.
Oh no!
I did not know there was a Lego James Bond.
Yeah, I remember seeing that being leaked online. There was a whole Lego James Bond game that had like a full trailer and everything, and it was canceled and it got leaked online.
Well, at least we got GoldenEye on a Nintendo Switch online.
Ah, yes.
So the game for me is I'm not even gonna lie about this one, Melvin. Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasai.
I was actually about to make a joke about that, like meme it.
I would love to see an actual full working remastered Star Wars fighting game.
Let's get the people who did Soul Calibur to make a Star Wars game.
Yes, because
Soul Calibur literally had Yoda and Vader in it.
Yeah. Like if I had a whole like
tournament
Star Wars game
of Star Wars, I'd fuck with it actually.
I'd fuck with that. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fighter Z, but Star Wars.
Marvel
I would take it.
Capcom 2, but Star Wars.
Oh man, I'm very excited for Marvel Rivals coming out, boys.
Yeah,
but we're not talking about that right now. Let's keep going.
Like just imagine like Star Killer versus Luke Skywalker, for Christ's sake. Like, dude.
Yeah, but imagine him as like a secret, like
get some of the Clone Wars characters in there too.
Yeah.
What was the name of that blue guy?
Which one?
The bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Bane, not Bane.
Yeah, Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane, yeah.
Cad Bane. You can get Ventress in there.
You can get Chisel
Ahsoka.
Chin Dooku.
Yeah. Oh, I love that'd be the peak. Is you could swap them between their movie variants, kind of like
that'd be cool.
Injustice, where you can have the different like costumes.
That'd be cool.
You could like put Dooku in from Clone Wars, Dooku in from 2, Dooku in from 3. Give him a different outfit a little bit.
You give him Jedi Knight Dooku. Yeah. Padawan Dooku. Like,
give me
it'd be
Spider.
So good.
What's his name? Darth Maul.
Yeah, Spider Legs Darth Maul, but then like make him play differently from the other Darth Maul.
Plays like a spider. Darth Jar Jar's behind it all.
You could even like do like weird gun characters as your zoners.
Don't they make it in like the Budokai games where like Mr. Satan is like really good?
Mr. Satan is the meme character, the meme pick.
But isn't he like kind of good?
You can cue it's more like I'm so good at this game, I'm gonna beat your ass with them, and it's gonna be a joke.
Okay, I was gonna say that should absolutely be.
He is viable. He is Yajirobe is considered the best character.
Okay.
Was considered the best character in the game. Yeah. Because the way he had it was he had a really cheap health from restore because he could just be Bean Daddy.
Bean Daddy. But no, I was gonna say Jar Jar could just be the Mr. Satan.
Darther Maul.
Darther Maul.
Jar Jar could be Mr. Satan, yeah. It's like no, because that'd be C3PO.
You know what? Speaking of C3PO.
C3PO and R2D2 as a pair as the character, like C3PO does like the high, like actual accidental, like oh dear, oh my, as his high attacks. Right. Low attacks would be R2D2. Special things would be like R2D2 being held up by C3PO while he uses his flamethrower or something.
What if different droids were like support characters?
Like a gonk droid would be a support character.
Ooh, that could be your like assets or something like that. Where like in the middle of the game you hit L1 or L2, and it like summons in like C3PO R2D2's assist, or like the gonk.
The gonk would be so fucking OP.
I hope gonk gets.
What about the jizz whalers? We need the jizz whalers.
Not the no. Those would be environment like takedowns.
Oh, okay, all right. Like you're fighting in the Mos Eisley cantina, and then all of a sudden you just force pull the cantina band towards the other person.
The biggest thing you'd have to do is obviously if you're gonna put like Boba Fett and Han Solo in there, you're gonna have to figure out a way for them to like get around fighting people with lightsabers. But I mean, just give them some sticks or something.
I mean, you know how they played it in Terrace Kasai? They would just smack them with a lightsaber like they were just a wiffle ball bat.
Oh, the Sarlacc. Sorry, Captain Froze asked, "What's going to be the Injustice dumpster?" Obviously the Sarlacc pit.
Was that from episode 6?
Yeah, that's the desert, the sand vagina, if you will.
Yeah, I mean it's the Sandussie, if you will.
Sandussie.
I like that we just made our own Star Wars fighting game by talking about it.
Yeah,
I'm for it, man.
If there were items like Smash Brothers, what items would be included?
You know what? I think like thermal detonators, back to tank, death sticks would be a good one to increase your speed and stuff like that.
You want to buy some death sticks?
But I think part of me just thinks all the costumes could be fun.
A lot of the costumes would be
like obviously you put Boba Fett in there, but then just give him a Jango Fett costume. Hell, Boba Fett could have literally all of I think the clones should be actual characters. One of the clones.
Someone in chat just said Jabba the Hutt, but he has no attacks. What if Jabba the Hutt is like, what's the name of that character in MVC2 who has all this? Not the Surf Bot, but the character who has the Surf Bots fight for them.
That's not roll.
Yeah, that is what I could see Java being, where he just has his little his hog minion. Tron-Bon. Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Froze.
Jabba could easily be a Tron-Bon type character, where he does.
He just gets the green Pikmin.
Yeah. He gets hog Pikmin,
and then his special just involves the Rancor pit.
That would be sick.
The thing is, though,
fatality but not fatality.
Further beyond and include characters from the books and like games of Star Wars too?
I absolutely would.
Obviously, the games, right? Like you want Mission and
I don't give a fuck what Disney says, man. The extended lore
holiday special Harrison Ford.
Give me holiday special Luke Skywalker where he has like the weird plastic surgery after his car accident.
I want Chewie's family. I want a map dedicated to Chewie's family
and as Darth Vader. That would be another thing. You'd have dream matchups like Darth Vader versus Luke, or Darth Vader versus Anakin Skywalker, and think about the dialogue that they could have actually before they go line up with each other. They look
like how they do in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, why do I feel a familiar presence?
Anakin versus Sand.
Yeah, that'd be a terrible
I just like sand. Of course,
or just what if Anakin falls in the Sandussie? You would really hate that.
That would be an achievement you unlock is when you knock Luke Skywalker into the Sandussie as Joba Fett.
Joba
Fett. You know what I need? I need another Star Wars game that allows me to create another Jedi, kind of like how Jedi Academy was.
Custom character.
Custom character.
Let me get Jedi Survivor, but in an open world where I get to make my own dude.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. Let me just get Cyberpunk in a Star Wars universe.
I would be for that.
Take place to be able to Coruscant.
Start me off on Coruscant. Let me go check out the other Starfield, but actual Star Wars. Starfield is just getting turned into Star Wars with all the conversion mods.
Customizable cock, yeah, absolutely.
Padme, but she can shapeshift into the actual animal cougar.
Animorph. That's funny.
These are some bops from chat.
Yeah. Chat's popping off today.
I think, is that pretty much what you got for your nostalgia efforts there, my friend?
Yeah, just kind of bouncing off of that, being like, I want to go play Star Wars games again.
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about also getting a Guitar Hero controller.
Did you ever finish watching Clone Wars, Melvin?
No, I waited for you, unfortunately.
We got to get back on that sometime.
We'll just make a day of it. We'll just pick a day and
we're gonna have a Clone Wars watch sesh for good old time's sake.
just start with like season 3 or 4 or wherever we're out.
Yeah, context for the audience. Melvin and I used to live together, and we used to just
only watch Clone Wars whenever we ate dinner together.
Yeah, and we made it probably to season 4 or so.
Yeah, we started getting to the new content almost.
I think the last thing I remember was Darth Maul was reintroduced. I don't think we got quite to Spider Maul yet.
Yeah, because Darth Maul found his brother cousin, the new one or whatever he is.
Yeah.
Darth, big guy.
I don't remember this.
Darth Murder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Darth Evil.
What is his name? The big stupid Darth Vader guy.
The yellow one?
Yeah, the yellow looking one that had the big horns and was like, I have a light mace. Darth Mace. No, not Darth Mace.
Wasn't his name? I thought his name was I can't remember. I thought
Darth Intruder.
Hold on,
Darth Tyrannus.
Google.
Darth Maul brother? Savage.
Darth Savage.
It was Sauvage Oppressed.
Savage.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
He's oppressive.
Savage.
Sauvage. Instead of saying savage, they said Savage.
Savage. Savage.
Savage. I was like, I know who you're talking about. I thought it was, I'm not gonna lie, for some reason, my brain immediately went, slave! Because, I mean...
Slave?
He kind of wasn't he? He was a slave at first, and then they took him, and then
slave to the witch sisters, or whatever, the Dormir sisters.
That's why I was all slave, not Savage.
And he was like, I love you, brother. This is why I do this for you, brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then he wins, and then they're like, kill your brother.
And you're like, no.
And they showed children that, yes, you too can murder your brother to become evil and powerful.
Yep. That was a children's show.
Yeah, that was crazy that show was on Cartoon Network. Anyways, pop culture.
So we are you guys ready for, since it's December 1st, your obligatory Game Awards nominee discussions?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Jeff Keighley's big adventure. We here at Pixel Pulse love Jeff Keighley. We think he's such an amazing human being and is the most important man to the entire gaming industry. Thank you. Take it away, Jeff's lover number 1. That's you.
Why is that me? I thought that was Austin.
It's not me. No. So are we, just real quick, to cover my bases, are we just discussing Game of the Year?
No, we can cover all of them if you want to look up the nominees.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at the nominees
half
list.
Hour, maybe another 20 minutes, 15 minutes, however long you guys are willing to tolerate us for.
I need to look this up. So I know is the Game of the Year off the top of my head.
Yeah, I know all the Game of the Year ones too, but I'll go ahead and start reading off the Game of the Year ones. So for those who are unaware, Donkey Kong December.
That's right. It's Donkey Kong.
You guys
December.
talk real quick. I gotta step out just for a quick second. I'll be right back.
Tony Pizza says if Multiverse wins Fighting Game of the Year, he's gonna do a backflip, triple lariat, and then 2 push-ups all at once off the back of a truck.
Wow,
going off a bridge.
That's impressive.
But essentially, no, Multiverses will never.
It's nominated again though.
What Multiverses got nominated
again for best fighting game?
That's so weird because it's not that good.
No one likes that game.
I tried, but it's like they pushed so much FOMO on me.
Were there any other here's
sorry, fear of missing out, by the way, for those who don't know what FOMO is. I did not make a slur.
I didn't think you did. Were there any other fighting games that came out this year though? I felt like this game was fairly light on fighting games. Like there was the MVC collection, which I saw some people complaining that was there. I mean, I know it's really big for like my friend Tony and other such individuals who love Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but I sort of understand what they mean when they, you know, it is just a collection of old games, but
I absolutely think so there was Tekken 8, which is really big, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which is really big.
That wasn't even nominated, Sparking?
No, Sparking Zero is in the best fighting game nominees.
Oh, so what?
So the nominees for best fighting game are Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, which makes sense. Grand Blue is a big franchise.
Where is best fighting game on this?
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, which that's fair, but I also think it's a little weird. Multiverses, and then Tekken 8.
Okay, so I know about Tekken 8 and like I've heard about Grand Blue, and obviously Sparking Zero is something I've played. I guess the question is what came out this year that's not on this list?
I don't think Street Fighter 6 came out this year.
No, that was
last year, yeah. I think there was a new No, that's not out yet. I was gonna say there was a new King of Fighters, I think, or Final Fight. But I could be that's not
Rivals of Ether 2.
Oh, Rivals 2 came out. I did not realize that. Thank you, Tony Pizza, for telling me that. See, I loved Rivals of Aethers 1. I'm willing to mollywop anyone. I'm a Zetterburn main before Zetterburn was banned. Actually, no, I was the Dung Beetle. That was what I was. Crag, I think.
Can I talk for a moment about how best family game is probably the most lazy category in all of the video game awards?
No, because I have another one that's probably lazier.
Well, can I talk about it anyways? For best family game, it's like, okay, Princess Peach Showtime. No one really liked that game. It was like a C+ game at best, and that's how everyone felt about it. Astrobot, that's probably going to win, based. Super Mario Party Jam.
Yeah, that seems kind of out of... That seems... There really isn't... Yeah, there isn't really a... No, I'm not trying to say that these aren't popular Nintendo options, but these are not Nintendo-defining options, definitely.
Well, that's the thing. Well, what is this category even though? It's just like the Nintendo games category?
I think it's whatever rated E.
Yeah, but like Jamboree, like it is the best Mario Party, quite literally, maybe out of any of them. But like, I guess I would maybe say that would be my vote. But Echoes of Wisdom, I don't really consider the new Zelda game to be like a family game. It's a single player like sword fight kill tactics game.
Yeah, well, it seems.
So I don't know. And Plucky Squire, I heard good things. I wanted to play it. I heard it wasn't like groundbreaking, but it was a very charming game.
Well,
so.
I think the craziest category is most anticipated game. Like let's be honest here, it's probably going to be GTA 6.
GTA 6, I think, is what people will really say. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff pulls a Jeff card and says Death Stranding too.
Either that or Ghosts of Yotei as well, as they're because people were mad about that. Why are we playing as a woman now instead of Jin Sakai? Which, I mean, I can't blame people for that because I also really loved Jin Sakai because he was a very good character. I fuck with him. But all right, since Agari is back, are you ready to chew?
Yeah.
Okay, Ucho.
Mucho.
On the topic of anticipated game, before we move off of that, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is something that I'm really interested in, but like we know basically nothing about it right now.
They just don't tell us anything.
I mean, they gave us a trailer a few months back and it looked great.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they did give us a trailer, and it looks great. 2025 release date.
We can talk about it again too, real quick. No, it is. Prime 4 is on the category for
most anticipated game, yeah.
So let's go ahead and start from the beginning since Agari's back. Game of the year, Game of the Year nominees. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantagio.
I have played 0 of these games, and also it should be stated this is the first year where Jeff bent his own rules to allow DLC to make it the Game of the Year category.
That is going to probably be the biggest contention of conversation for this subject.
I think from what I've heard about Elden Ring, I want to play the game. I've heard that the DLC is great, but it's not really Game of the Year contender worthy.
I don't think it's so. My problem is I absolutely do not think DLC should be in Game of the Year, because if you look ahead of the time, we can look forward for one of the categories. Where is it? Best ongoing game. Why isn't that just in there? Why isn't Shadow of the Erdtree just in best ongoing game?
Here's what I'll say.
Yes, it adds 30 hours of content, but you have to play 80 hours of content to get to it.
Right. Here's what
Unless you just happen to know how to beat Moog real easy at level 3.
Regarding like Xenoblade's DLC, Xenoblade Future Redeemed for Xenoblade 3 is a completely standalone. Well, you still have to own the base game, but it's a completely standalone campaign that I believe I considered my Game of the Year.
And that's different though, because that's the thing. You can go out of the gate and play that DLC.
Yeah.
This game entirely relies on the existence of another game. You cannot choose Shadow of the Erdtree separately from Elden Ring. You have to play 80 so spoilers for Elden Ring. There is a boss named Moog. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I don't care right now. I've always insulted him because he's a bastard boy. Essentially, he is one of the harder bosses in the game. You have to go through an entire quest line and be like almost like 3/4 of the way done, unless you go straight for him and do what you need to do. He's incredibly hard to beat, and you need to beat him to even have a chance to access that DLC. You have to play most of Elden Ring 1 or Elden Ring to get to that boss. And then like that's why so many people were complaining about the DLC, because it literally had a gatekeeping there based around playing the game. And that's why people were like, well, this DLC sucks, so I can't just go to the new area. So to me, that means you added to an ongoing game. This is not Game of the Year. This is an ongoing game category thing. That's where it is. That's where I'm standing on it. I'm sorry.
I agree with that viewpoint. I think in general for the Video Game Awards, it's fine to have DLC under the right circumstances be in this category. I think I agree with you based on what you explained.
Like your Golden Concordia, I think is what it was, right? Or was it the other one? That was
what, for Xenoblade?
Yeah, was it was this
Future Redeemed?
Oh, is that the one for 3 you said?
Yes. Okay,
so see, I think of like Gold Concordia or the other one from the Xenoblade Remastered, where you could pick it up and play it after
Are you talking about Torn of the Golden Country?
Sure, that one.
and Future Connected.
Yeah, so I think of like those. To me, those are separate stories that you can launch individually, separate from your game, and play.
I will say to the reverse defense of Xenoblade, Torn of the Golden Country is the only one of those 3 that you can buy separately and is technically a separate game. The others are you do have to own the base game for.
Oh, I mean, well, they come included with the base game, though, don't they?
If you buy the season pass.
Oh, see? I mean, well, okay, but you can still go to the menu and launch them separately, though.
On Xenoblade 1, Future Connected is part of the Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of then.
And then for Xenoblade X coming next year, we don't know if there's going to be a side mode like that, but Xenoblade X seems like it's adding post-game content. Like, it's not a separate launchable thing.
This is going to be a Xenoblade we could play together, potentially.
Maybe. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, we'll save that for later. We're getting longer in the episode, but that's just my biggest problem with the Game of the Year. That's a big problem for everyone. It's what everyone's been talking about. But Black Myth Wukong is really good. I absolutely recommend that for a lot of people. People say it's a Souls-like. It is, but it's very forgiving in the aspect of you don't lose your souls, actually. I haven't played Baltero or
Balatro.
Balatro. I believe that's a poker game mixed with like some
It's a
surprising elements.
roguelike card game. I think you'd actually love it.
I do want to try it. It's not that I don't want to try it. It's just I haven't gotten to it yet. I didn't even hear about it until like recently. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I haven't played the second one. I know the first one was fantastic. So people were saying this one's better.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Out of all these games here, I also haven't really played Metaphor. I heard Metaphor is just Persona 5 2, but like Atlas didn't want to call it Persona for some reason, and it doesn't feel too like it doesn't feel like it deserves to not be called Persona, is what I've heard.
From what I've seen, though, a lot of people think it's their game of the year.
Yeah,
I know I'm very interested in it. I don't want to touch it yet because big RPGs scare me. I still have Persona 5 to finish.
right.
And my
all
brother,
of the Xenoblade games.
and all the Xenoblade games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, I've been playing Xenoblade. I just got done banned, you know.
No, you didn't. No, you
I keep telling you that every time just because it's funny.
Agari, out of any of these games, have you played any of them for Game of the Year?
Not a damn one. I'm
Same,
still-
same
Yeah, I
here.
haven't played
I
a
guess I'm the
single
only
one
one.
of these
I've played
games.
a lot of these.
I've had interest in
Two of
Black
them,
Myth.
2 out of the 5. Never mind, I didn't play.
3 of these I'm very interested in. 2 of them I'm sort of interested in. One of those 2 is DLC to a game I don't have.
So it's like I loved Astrobot.
That's the one out of all these. I'm hoping Astrobot or Balatro wins. Based again, I've not played either of them, but I've seen a little bit of them, and
Mhm.
that would be my personal vote. But
I'm about in
leaning
the same
toward-
boat.
I'm leaning towards Black Myth Wukong myself. I think it's a very like new developer that came out with a very strong title. I think it's almost better than like Elden Ring sometimes with its combat. I think it's a good competitor that'll help the Souls genre grow in general. That being said, I liked Astro's Playroom on the PlayStation. You and I both played through that.
Playroom was okay, but I hear that this game is very good.
Yeah, like if it's anything like that. See, I loved Playroom though. So if it's anything like that but better, then that's just gonna cater to me.
So wasn't Playroom like a mini game compilation?
No, it was a small platforming game that would give you the example of what all your PlayStation can do. So like it would show you like what its adaptive triggers and different scenarios.
Mhm.
It was like a 3D platformer game that was also the Wii Sports for the PS5.
Yeah, it was exactly. Yeah, that was their version of the Wii Sports, and it was fantastic.
Separate purchase though.
Gabe, it was good. No, it was free.
Or was it? Okay.
It came with the console as a download.
Okay.
I might have played
So-
a little bit of it when I had a PS5.
You
for,
might
like,
have because
2
it's a good
weeks,
way to
but-
test your controller to see if it's broken.
Mhm.
Best game direction is literally the same nominees,
Same
all of them.
list. Yeah.
Don't even know why.
Balatro, Astrobot, Black Myth, Elden Ring, bobber boopy doo boop boop boop.
You beat up boop, boop, boop,
I'm
boop.
staying with my decision on Black Myth. Now here's a different set. Best narrative: Final Fantasy VII, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth,
Yakuza! Sorry.
Metaphor, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, which I played the first one. The first Hellblade's pretty decent, and then Silent Hill 2. I've actually been playing the new Silent Hill 2, and that game is scary.
Is it?
It's very much an experience. It feels like I'm just getting tested constantly because you're walking through the fog, you don't know where you're going, but all you hear is the music, and the music is you would love this game, Gabe. It's got very good sound design, which I know is a category, and I'm going to talk about that later. But that is my win would be Silent Hill 2. I feel like Like a Dragon is also very good. I haven't played that one in particular, but I played the first Like a Dragon.
Here's my problem with the video game awards. Not to necessarily the fault of the show, but my personal interests. 96% of the games on this list I have only barely heard of, and most of them I have zero interest to actually play. Like I'm looking at like at some of these games, like, okay, games for impact, Closer the Distance, Indicia, Neva, Life is Strange, Hellblade 2, and Tales of Senzera. I've only heard of Hellblade 2 out of all of those. And like even then I have no interest personally. So for me personally, it's not necessarily a knock on the show itself, but like I don't play a lot of the mainstream games that everyone else plays.
I was gonna say a big thing is what we're gonna start doing from here on this category is actually we'll go back up to game of the year. What would be your guys' game of the year if not counting these nominees? We're gonna go off nomination list.
I think we're at next episode we're gonna have our own
like game of the year session. Okay.
Separate then from this.
Okay, well what would you say your best narrative game you've played this year is then? What would be the best story you've played?
I don't remember what the fuck even came out this year because I play mostly retro games throughout the year. I play backlog stuff mostly.
Yeah, but some of those still have narratives.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like what have I played that came out this year.
For me, I know a really good narrative I enjoyed was I enjoyed the Call of Duty campaign for Black Ops 6.
It actually had a good narrative.
It had a fantastic story, a little bit with it. It felt like Black Ops 2 almost.
The best narrative. Again, I haven't played a lot of new games from this year. I don't think it's that fantastic.
I mean, it doesn't have to be this year either. Like, what have you played that you?
Oh, I mean, out of everything I played within the year, it'd probably be Yakuza. But the best narrative of games that came out within this year would probably be Echoes of Wisdom, I guess.
Well, we'll just go with games we've played this year just to make it easier.
Okay.
What about you, Gary?
I mean, it's rough for me because like I'm bouncing back and forth between so many games, and it's so hard for me to like, because I don't know.
Have an opinion.
I know. I'm trying to have an opinion. That's the problem.
Craft it.
I don't know because like I don't play many story games. I play a lot of shooters and simulator games right now.
I mean, my problem is if we're not going by the release this year rule, Red Dead Redemption all the way.
Fair enough.
I think we should stick to talking about things that came out this year, just because otherwise we'll be here for fucking years.
Yes, we will. We'll keep moving forward anyways.
Yeah.
Best art direction: Astrobot, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Metaphor, Neva. I don't know what Neva is.
I'm never gonna know what that is. I refuse to know.
I don't think Elden Ring should win that. It's literally reusing a lot of stuff from Elden Ring. There is new stuff in there, but you can't get away with everything.
I'm not really the biggest Persona guy, but I will always say that the Persona games are very striking. So out of that list, I would hope for Metaphor, but I don't know anything about Neva.
I've seen Metaphor. It looks really pretty. I like Black Myth Wukong. That's also extremely pretty.
Isn't Black Myth Wukong like just kind of like mostly realism though? Like when I'm talking about art direction, I like to personally think of things that don't go for realism.
That's fine, but you can't
off well. For me personally,
it's not exactly entirely realism, though. It's literally based off of Journey to the West. Like, there's a pig man walking and talking to you.
Right. I don't mean
I don't think you should entirely exclude something for going for a realistic style because that's still a style versus stylized anime and everything else. I don't think Black Myth Wukong doesn't deserve to be there, especially from the opening of the game being gorgeous.
Fair enough.
It's someone still had to sit there and draw all of that art in Wukong and make that art in Wukong. It's just I don't think stylized should always be the only way we go because there needs to be a recognition of realistic appreciation as well.
I agree. I just for me and my taste personally, like on a completely opinion based level, no facts or logic anywhere involved. I personally always prefer style over realism.
That's fair. I just think I think Wukong does have a style. You just got to play it.
I admittedly have seen nothing on Black Myth Wukong other than like trailers, and I was like sort of interested in trailers, and then I forgot about it, and it came out. And I was like, okay.
What about you, Gary? Do you have any opinions on the best art narrative direction?
I don't know any of these games, man.
You got a computer in front of you. Look them up. Anyways,
that's true. Yeah.
Best score in music. would be there's Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII, Metaphor, Silent Hill, and Stellar Blade actually shows up. That's an interesting one. I didn't know that. I forgot Stellar Blade came out this year. Technically, I thought it was last year.
I have one coworker. No offense, I don't mean to call them out, but I have one coworker who's pissed that Stellar Blade isn't nominated for Game of the Year because he's a gooner. But
well, I mean, I also think it downplays a product if you call it just the gooning product, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to shit on the game. I know the game's like pretty good, but just like that was his actual reason. I said why? He's like, I want to look at asses.
Okay, that's a different story. Yeah, I mean, anyone can be upset about Game of the Year. There's literally DLC in it. Like games that have been actually made are getting beaten by DLC. We'll keep going since there's not really any opinions about score and music. Audio design, I say it's Silent Hill 2.
This is specifically audio design. Sorry, I was looking
same category. Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is the different one. Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2 is another one. Silent Hill 2 is another one.
$20 Omni Audio.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's
why
bullshit.
I will not acknowledge Call of Duty 6.
I was like, that's bullshit to throw Call of Duty in there, considering that you have to fucking pay for it.
I have not, and I'm not going to.
Nope.
Silent Hill 2 literally uses its audio to cause an oppressive atmosphere that makes you feel uncomfortable the very first moment you hit Silent Hill. The music is very well done. It is used for a lot of its horror. I think the same can be said for Senua's Saga, though. I haven't played Hellblade, but I know a lot of it has to do with audio, because I think your main character is deaf in that, actually. I could be wrong, though. I haven't played them, but I also I recognize where game is due, yeah.
So Silent Hill 2, according to you, good remake?
I think it's a fantastic remake, actually.
Better than original.
I think it is just the original.
Like, if I had to choose original or remake,
so
according to you, what do I play?
If cost isn't a fallacy here, because I got Silent Hill 2 for free, and there's like a remaster mod on PC to get it because it's abandonware almost on PC. Essentially, the remake is fantastic. I think the remake will serve for people who want to experience Silent Hill 2.
Okay. I
think it's fantastic. I think the combat feels a lot better in it. The graphics are a little bit questionable because some people might like the style of the original better. That's just always going to be the way it is, you know? Some people just like things the original better. Where the fuck is the Thrillville remake, though?
I'm right there with Froze. Where is the Thrillville remake? Where the fuck is it?
Sorry, I don't know.
Did you see that Roller Coaster Tycoon's getting a version coming to Switch next month?
Yeah.
Which is the original version.
Which is kind of cool. You can play that with the touchsome.
Yeah.
Best performance.
Fun. I don't know any of these actors. Who the hell even is Brianna White?
So Brianna White, I think, is Aerith.
Oh, is it? Yeah, Aerith was good in FF7 Remake 1.
I'm assuming, I mean, that's going to be her game if that's what I think that it happens to her. What'd she do? Who is she? Who you at, though?
Any of these other names in here? So we got Hannah Tell for Life.
Yeah, she's Aerith. That's Aerith.
Double Exposure. Brianna White for FF7 Rebirth.
I can explain who these are because I actually know who these people are.
Okay.
So if I'm correct, Humberly Gonzalez is the Star Wars Outlaws main actress, which makes me genuinely upset because they took her face to use for the main character of Star Wars Outlaws. Then they made her look distinctly not human and unappealing. Even though I think that's what she's supposed to be, is human. I don't know. She looks weird. Life is Strange is usually very up there for performances. I've always seen it as a very well performed game.
Yeah.
Aerith is obviously I probably gave it to her because it's probably the game where she dies in. To be honest, she's probably dead in that game.
I have not played it, but all I remember is in FF7 1.
Spoilers for those who haven't played Final Fantasy VII, the original game.
In FF7 Remake Part 1, there's this part after they're thrown in Don Corneo's dungeon and Aerith goes, and I always thought that line was funny, the way she delivered it.
And then when it comes to Senua's Saga, I think it's entirely like a one-woman performance, so I believe that's probably why she's there too. Innovation and accessibility, though. Ooh, this is the category that sounds like it is... Huh. So there's Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws.
That's certainly a selection. Yeah.
No one else is going to call me out for what I did there, huh?
Oh no, I ignored it. I knew
I didn't
it.
see what you did. My cat is going apeshit at my feet. I'm trying to...
There is one more option in the strive for accessibility in video games category. And there's Dragon Age Veilguard there.
So what's going on with Dragon Age?
No, it's just it shouldn't be called Dragon Age anymore, I think is what we just need to do.
Why?
It's not Dragon Age. Dragon Age Origins is a grim dark fantasy game mixed with tactical role-playing and strategy that goes into multiple choices where there's actual bad choices in it, where you can decide to murder a woman to save a child or murder a child to save a woman and other things like that. And instead they gave it this baby gentrified bullshit that's just garbage. Mash your square button to hack and slash while you deal with characters who are fucking insufferable.
Oh.
It sounds like you don't like this game.
I got a suspicion. Wait a minute. Game of the year.
I will end you. You can't tell me that Veilguard is any good compared to Origins. Like, Dragon Age has been fucking stumbling ever since Dragon Age fucking 2, and it's goddamn annoying. It's
So here's the question: if we're stepping away from that, what did it do that's so accessible that would have gotten it in this category?
I imagine it has a lot to do with making you can just decide to make your character trans if you want. Probably, It's probably entirely that. It's probably entirely based off of one character who gets to be a piece of shit to everyone just because they're non-binary, rather than actually having her be a character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of poorly written stereotype characters.
Right.
These characters can have depth. You can make characters that are fucking in depth. Like,
I do want to make a comment on this as well. I do agree that I don't think that this is not what accessibility means.
No, it shouldn't be.
What I think accessibility is, like when I think of that, I think of like the options, accessibility options to like make the game play better
my
for other
controller
people
better
that
have
have
fucking braille coming out of the side of it.
It's like, because like the reason why I see Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on there and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Because I have a friend who like they use the special audio stuff because they can hear certain frequencies in one ear, but they can hear it in the other. So they can balance it out to where they can hear that frequency a little bit better and then the right ear versus the left ear. Or like, you know, like there's a lot of accessibility to not handicap. Handicap's the wrong word, but like if you have some sort of like if you're colorblind, you know how there's like the colorblind modes and stuff like that. It's not just your simple fix this colorblind mode and that's what fixes it. It's more than just that too. It's more than just, you know, accessing.
Yeah, so like I can see Call of Duty absolutely being on there. Diablo 4, you know what? Diablo 3 was a really good accessibility like thing for people. I can understand why Diablo 4 would be there because they're making it to where action RPGs are playable for console users and other things like that. Prince of Persia, I don't know what the hell happened there. That game failed.
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws, like I don't know what about Star Wars Outlaws was accessibility option like friendly there. There wasn't shit.
Accessible to
press one button to have my droid go up and pickpocket someone without doing anything. And you can only pickpocket police officers. What's the point of being an outlaw when I just want to shoot a kid for its candy?
I was going to say Star Wars Outlaw was made accessible to my wallet for not having to spend the money on it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just chose to get like a month of Ubisoft Plus and played it there. And it was like, all right, I've had my fill of this after 2 hours. And then I went and played fucking Tom Clancy games that were old.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Outlaws lost out to old vintage Tom Clancy games to me. Sorry, I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Dragon Age makes me mad because Dragon Age Origins was Dragon Age Origins is probably my number 3 game all time.
Yeah.
All time. I love Dragon Age Origins. And every time I had to sit here and watch Dragon Age come out with a new entry, it's fucking insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
The game is dead. The game series I loved is no longer there. I need to accept it and move on, I know. But at the same time, now they're making a Mass Effect 5.
Mm. Sorry, we're reading chat.
I agree with Tony Pizza TV, where Marvel vs. Capcom Collection should be considered a nominee for accessibility because it literally allows people to play these games that are no longer available.
Yeah.
If we're going by it, but we'll keep going though. Games for Impact. I don't know any of these.
Nope, don't know any of them either.
We're gonna move forward. Best ongoing game. This is one that Austin
so this is one that
probably
I
talk about.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
I absolutely think Helldivers or Fortnite.
I actually played Fortnite and enjoyed the game this year because of Peter Griffin.
Fortnite literally had a massive Marvel event that was so in depth, it was crazy.
Yeah,
and then you throw on the Wasteland season they did.
I was gonna say Fortnite definitely too. I was
for
a minute there. I kind of grit my
Destiny
teeth.
2.
No, because like Destiny 2, don't get me wrong, their DLCs are pretty okay for the most part. I mean,
Godzilla's added into Fortnite. Hold on, what?
Yeah, they just added Godzilla.
God damn it, dude! I don't want to play Fortnite.
Destiny, it's
Peter Griffin versus Godzilla.
I wouldn't say it's best ongoing. I mean, considering that their DLC comes out every fucking year or so, but they're big, bulky DLCs that are usually pretty much game changing. But they're not doing that anymore. They're gonna have seasons. They're gonna have I know how Fortnite does. They're having seasons. They're having their battle passes and stuff like that. But they're not dropping big content anymore. They have dropped out of that. They're no longer doing that.
I'm playing Fortnite tonight because of Froze, by the way.
Are you?
Read out what they said.
Captain Froze just said they added Godzilla and he's able to wear the Nikes.
That's funny.
That's it. That's it for me.
Did you see that you can put Cell in the Nikes as well?
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to run around with Piccolo in the Nikes. But I agree. See, my problem with Destiny 2 is it's not really innovative when they do their expansions.
It's not super innovative. It's there's nothing that makes it. I know there's a lot of story to it and a lot of game, I would say self-game breaking is what it is, because they introduced something new to the game. Like, for example, when this last DLC just came out with the prismatics shit that you can use, and you can mix all the different elements, whatever. It literally breaks the game, and people find ways to break the game even more with these builds. And sure, they can change the meta and stuff like that, but every once in a while, somebody's gonna find something to break the game. And no matter what, there is no way to escape that with Destiny. You always have to run meta. You always have to run stuff that'll just break the game, stuff that'll make you do things easier, because that's what it is. It's a grindy game. You go for that, you grind the game, but it's not genre defying. It just seems yeah, sure, it's an ongoing game, but is it really? You're just getting more micro boosts for the storyline, or just different. Yeah, as Froze says, Destiny is literally dying right now. It's just they're not providing genre defying stuff. They're just they're just pushing out content that's just oh yeah, well, you could do this.
I think sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just basically gonna end it there.
For me, part of me really wanted to say Helldivers 2, but I know Helldivers 2 took a massive fucking hit when they tried to force people to use the PSN accounts.
Well, then didn't they just remove it from the Steam store in certain countries too?
Yes, until they decided to backpedal because I don't know why they decided to do that like later on the road, but it's just that severely crippled Helldivers 2 progress. But Helldivers 2 is also a very community-driven game where they keep constantly releasing new equipment packs and then also new enemies, new weapons. They're constantly balancing and changing everything, adding mission types and stuff like that. Realistically, I would love to say Helldivers 2, but I know a lot of people are just turned off from it from that whole big PSN debacle.
And like I could also agree with that and kind of throw some of those terms towards Destiny 2 as well, because like, you know, they have the rotating missions, they have rotating weeklies and stuff like that. They're updating it, but it's just, it feels wrong to have Destiny in best ongoing, because it seems like it's not even ongoing. It seems like it's refreshing, if that makes sense.
Did you guys hear that No Man's Sky finally got positive reviews on Steam?
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm about to go leave a positive review too. It's a good game.
I own it. I like
continue.
Yeah. What is this category? This next one, best community support. Is that like mods?
That would be kind of Helldivers 2 with like the bit. Yeah, like so. Think of like games with massive fan bases, like literally No Man's Sky is there. Games that have had fans that have stayed with the community and like helped the game flourish and grow, like Helldivers 2, for instance. A lot of those community missions are like everyone teams up to go and do these major orders to handle business in the galaxy together. Baldur's Gate 3 just created its own mod engine and an built-in like mod platform for even console users to get in on installing mods into their game, thus making it to where people can also make their own campaigns and one-shots as well.
That's cool.
Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO that's usually got a strong fan base. Fortnite's the same deal where like people make their own maps in Fortnite all the time. Fortnite's so big to the point to where they made Freedom Town during Kamala Harris's campaign and spent multi-million dollars into it to where you can go and play Fortnite without guns.
I've seen people do like Sonic mods. No, never mind. Sorry, that was an Unreal Engine, not Fortnite. But like they've used the same engine that Fortnite runs off of, and they've made like Sonic fan games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen that using the Fortnite engine. Yeah.
Best independent game, indie game.
Let's go UFO 50.
I like Animal Well. Balatro is probably.
Have you played UFO 50?
No, what is it?
Oh my god. So you played what the fuck is this? Spelunky, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Spelunky.
So the devs of Spelunky, I believe,
I've seen this.
Responsible for it. It's 50 like NES-ish style retro games all in one game.
That seems
but
really
they're
cool,
all actually really good and full ass games. We're not talking like WarioWare here. No, we're talking these are full ass 50 games.
So it's Action 52?
If Action 52 was good, is what this game is.
I'm interested.
Yes. And UFO 50 is based. I've wanted to stream it, but I haven't really had the time for it. But yeah.
So, what indie games have you guys been playing?
What was the
Not
last
much.
indie game that I played? You know what? There's a new indie horror game that I played recently.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah. No, it's a horror game, but it's not enough to like. It's not gonna make you jump. It's kind of more of a creepy horror game, if that makes sense. It was
Grandma's
called
out of the when you stay at your friend's house and their grandmother is let loose when they think you're asleep. And she's butt naked from the shower.
Okay, yeah, now that is horrifying. Mouthwashing, no, but that's another good one. Mouthwashing is another good one.
Mouthwashing is great. Yeah.
Let me get that dick, Sonny.
You're grounded. But no.
Go to your room.
Oh my god.
With me.
The game that I played was called Dollmare. And
What about-
it's literally go ahead.
Sorry, go. So you go ahead. Sorry, I'm brain dead. Keep
No,
going.
you're good. I was just gonna say, I played a game called Dollmare, and it came out this year. It came out on October 24th, actually, and it's a very fun indie game, but it's very creepy because you're just kind of dealing with dolls. You're working in a doll factory that's been abandoned, and you're just making sure that these dolls are
Wait, if it's abandoned, why are we there?
Abandoned later in the story. I mean, spoilers.
What?
I should have said that out. I'm sorry.
What?
I know. I'm a piece of shit. But no. So you go to this doll factory and you make these dolls. You make sure that they're good up to quality, and you ship them off to be sold. And it just kind of leads into this big whole thing about like the dolls having defects and anomalies, and then they're alive, and then there's some whispering to you, and it's a really weird, not weird, but it's a really good storyline to it. But it's like the dolls have souls, pretty much, Captain Froze. That's exactly how it is. There's
All right, let's not talk about it anymore if I'm gonna play it.
yeah.
Best debut indie game: Baltro, Animal Well, Manor Lords, which I've seen that Manor Lords. It's interesting.
Captain Froze, you're
unfortunately
grounded.
suffers the survivor game kind of deal. Pacific Drive is one I'm very interested in, actually. Pacific Drive is one, and then I don't know what the Plucky Squire is at all.
Plucky Squire is like could you call it could you call it like a Zelda game, chat, like sort of ish? That's how I kind of see it anyways.
Gabe, did you ever play Tunic?
No, I didn't, but I want to.
Okay, I was gonna say I think you would love Tunic.
The most interesting part about Plucky Squire is the game has this really cool aesthetic where the game takes place in a pop-up book, and then you can jump out of the book and like do things around outside the book.
Oh,
yeah. It's got a really cool art style. From what I hear, it's not like groundbreaking innovation gameplay, but it is an incredibly charming game all the way through. That's how I've heard it described.
Let's see. I haven't
Also,
played all
Arrow
these,
GPX is not fully out yet, Froze, so there's still hope. It's in early access right now.
Best mobile game. So this is interesting because Baltro is there again. Baltro is there again. I keep fucking it up. I've actually been playing the Pokemon trading card game Pocket.
We talked about that on the last Pixel post.
Yep.
It is very good, I think.
Quinn hates it.
Yeah, well, Quinn likes the original version. I like it because it's 20 cards, it's fast paced. I don't have time to sit there and play a full game of Pokemon. Yeah. If I want that, I'll play the other Pokemon TCG card game.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard some people say that the new Pokemon card app is very it's a good alternate take. Like, it doesn't replace it necessarily, but it's a good alternate take. And then there's like what Agari likes to do, which is just opening packs.
Yeah, I have almost all the cards, actually. I've got every water card in the game.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm like level 19 on it. I put money into it because I found out that see, that's the thing. I found out that you can get Google Play points, and I just had like 400 of them sitting there, so I was able to get like 2 like $20 off coupons for the game or whatever the hell, and I just spent money on it because it was like, oh, $8 to get everything I want.
You want to know what we are missing in the best mobile game category? Motherfucking Chick-fil-A Play, boys.
It's not
Chick-fil-A.
I downloaded
it.
I've been using it. It's an app, but
yet?
you can play games. Yes. Yeah, I have it downloaded right here.
Oh my god.
No. I got it right here.
I was going to say, I don't know what Wuthering Waves is. That sounds interesting.
Never heard of it.
Wuthering Waves is like Genshin Impact. But
I thought that was Zenless Zone Zero.
Zenless Zone Zero.
I thought Zenless Zone Zero was Honkai. Yeah,
Zenless Zone Zero is that game that some people, when they look at it, they're like, "This game is like overly animated. Like everything is super bubbly."
Oh, Zenless Zone Zero is the one with the girl with a shark butt, right?
Yes,
I think that's just a VTuber.
That is the one I know. Nope, that's
confirmed it. Trust me. One of my favorite characters in that game is a rat lady.
Shark butt. Oh yeah, there's a rat lady.
Oh yeah.
I've been like sort of interested to.
All right, I'm interested.
I've been sort of interested to try it, but I don't know. I never really got into Genshin. I don't think I would get into Genshin.
That's what it is.
I mean, being gacha in and of itself isn't the biggest turnoff, but I'm definitely not really a fan of the concept of it. I hated it in Xenoblade 2. And in general, it's just like I kind of just like if there's a character I'm interested in, like in a Fire Emblem context. I hated the Fire Emblem mobile game because like if there's a unit I'm interested in, just let me use them, you know?
Yeah, like you have to earn. That's how they get you though. Is you got to keep coming back to play. You might
I don't want to do it.
You might get the guy you want.
I don't want to do
You
it.
might get Goku, but instead we're gonna give you 15 Yajirobis.
Also, we should probably go through the remainder of these kind of.
Oh, yeah, 'cause we
rapid
still got
fire, 'cause
time.
we're
Yeah,
going
we're-
over.
we're-
We're gonna call up here. Best action game.
I lost my place.
Oh, I skipped the VR one because
Yeah, I've not played any.
I've
VR
played all of
games.
the VR games here before they were put on there. Like I played the first Asgard's Wrath. I played the Metroid before it was VR. I played Metal Hellsinger. I've played Batman Arkham VR, the first one. I haven't played any of these sequels though,
Mhm.
so that's why I'm not really gonna mention them.
Fair enough.
But this is the one I'm passionate about. Best action game: Black Myth Wukong, Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and what should win, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Warhammer
game is
40k
fun.
Space Marine 2.
40K Space Marine 2 is fun. I like that one.
I heard that
I wanna-
Space Marine 2 had like some. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that it had some graphical issues at launch. You guys heard about that? Any?
I didn't have
Like there was some compatibility issues with some graphics cards. I guess
I have not.
it eventually got
Nope.
patched. I think, but
I didn't hear anything
I mean,
about that.
if it did,
I had one coworker complaining about it. That's all.
it ran fine for me. And the problem is with like graphics issues and stuff like that. With it being PC for us, it's like most times I don't blame the game for some of the graphic problems.
It's more of the like graphic or
because
like
every
the
setup
hardware.
is different is the
Right,
problem. Like our computers are all different from each other,
Right.
and it's like now if it's something like where Austin and I are both running like 4070s and he's having an issue with his 4070 versus my 4070, that's a different story.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know what your friend's like setup was. He could have just also not had a computer that was able to run it.
No, I don't know.
But Space Marine 2, fantastically. If for those of you who are yearning for a Gears of War experience, Space Marines 2 will give you a good Gears of War experience. In fact, arguably, it's even more manlier than Gears of War because you are the cover. There is no cover system. You don't
Yeah.
hide.
Nope, you are the
go
cover.
in there, you smack them, and that's how you get your health back is by smacking them.
Regarding best action adventure game, Astrobot is on there. Is that an action adventure game? That's a platformer, like a 3D platformer.
I mean,
I guess it
is
there's
Silent Hill
action and
is
you go-
Silent Hill 2 an action adventure?
True. I didn't even see that. I just the first one I saw was Astrobot, and I was like, huh?
I'm not even going to justify Star Wars Outlaws.
Echoes of Wisdom is a good game. It is not the best Zelda game by any means, but it is a very good game.
Ooh, this one's gonna be a fun one. Best RPG: Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, Like a Dragon, and Metaphor. I actually think Dragon's Dogma is fantastic. A very good game, a very good open world. It does something very unique where you recruit your party members based off of other people's like characters they create. So you're constantly cycling through new party members that involve different players and quests and stuff like that. You get your one party member that you level up and build yourself. You also have multiple builds and stuff for it. Dragon's Dogma 2 does a really good job of making a world that actually feels alive with the amount of monsters and population that goes through. But otherwise, all those other options are the same ones from before. And I think Metaphor will get it.
Yeah, probably.
Best fighting game. I would very much like it to be Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Same.
I think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is fantastically animated. I
Oh.
think they did a lot of
Why
good
is
things.
Multiverses on here?
Multiverses came out this year is the thing.
It's stupid. It was on there last year.
Oh. I mean,
I didn't realize
Tekken 8,
that-
I haven't
oh,
played Tekken
sorry.
8 yet. I hope it's good. I want to play Tekken 8. That's the big thing. If we're going like actual fighting game, though, Sparking Zero is not a balanced
Yeah.
like actual fighting game.
Yeah.
There is no technique except for dodging better than your other opponent. And that's unfortunately how it is. Like, I love that game. In fact, Sparking Zero might even be my game of the year.
It's up there for me.
But Tekken 8 is an actual refined fighting game.
And again,
I don't think Capcom Fighting Collection should be there. I
Yeah.
get that it's a new game, but it's a series of old games put together.
I'm happy to see MVC2 come back and other such Marvel games, but again, these when I think of the game awards, I think of games from this year, and it's just a collection of old games that, as good as those games are, I personally just don't agree with the inclusion of it. It's a great collection. That's the best way, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not super well versed or anything. Tony would be the guy for that.
Tony has been talking this entire time. If
Yeah.
you look at the chat,
Yeah.
he's been going on. Which, I mean, those are all very valid opinions. I also am surprised that Rivals 2 didn't get put on here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't get around to playing a lot of fighting games because a lot of them require a certain amount of time to be put into them.
Yeah, that's my big thing too, and that's why I liked Sparking Zero so much, because it was so unbalanced that I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, you and I could play Sparking
I
Zero.
have Sparking Zero. I
Yeah,
played it.
And the thing is, we can play it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you want to play it with me. But
I'm gonna play as Tien. Sorry, not Tien. I'm gonna play as Chaozu Creative Mode. I'm gonna play as Great Ape Vegeta.
Have you beaten it all the way through? With, like,
No,
all the
I haven't
side
even.
stuff?
I haven't even started the story mode. I haven't had time to stream it, but
Oh.
I got it day one. Started fucking around with it, and eventually I'm going to go do that.
I was
But
gonna say I've done all of it. I've 100%ed it.
excellent.
The only thing I haven't done is they have a series of like, these other battles that you can unlock characters in. I haven't messed with. Otherwise, it's got a Mario Maker mode in it where you make your own Dragon Ball Z scenarios. That is crazy to me.
Best family game. Yeah, Peach Showtime is literally the most C or C plus game of all time. No one that I know has ever played that game and been like, that shit was amazing. But I guess Jeff Keighley's like, oh, we got to put something Nintendo in here. So Nintendo didn't really have the strongest year this year, I'll admit. But I mean, Echoes of Wisdom was again good. Not really Game of the Year worthy, so it's good that's not nominated for it. Mario Party Jamboree was excellent, but where's Monkey Ball? Where's the new Monkey Ball game? That is easily
that
the
has
best
been what
Monkey Ball.
that has been what Captain
Froze
Froze has
has been
been
saying the
screaming
entire
about in the
time.
chat
Yeah.
this entire episode.
Yeah.
It was Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
Monkey Ball.
Monkey Ball Banana, whatever the fuck it's called. I never remember because the remake has a banana name too. That's kind of confusing. But the game itself is easily the single best Monkey Ball so far. And
Sparking Zero tournament. I had to remind people that Sparking Zero isn't a tournament competitive game. It's not, and it's as much as I love it, I never played Budokai Tenkaichi 3 or 2 to play competitively. I played them to smash my action figures together.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Best Sim. The Sim. Oh,
I've actually played all of these except for Unicorn Overlord, which I'm now interested because that's done by Sega. So
it's Vanillaware, so it will look beautiful. Vanillaware is great.
Frostpunk 2 is essentially set in an alternate universe where global warming kind of fucked everything. You have a lot to do with like a cold meter and like how winter affects everything. Age of Mythology Retold is a remake of Age of Mythologies back from the original day. It is essentially Age of Empires mixed with Greek gods, Viking gods, and then Egyptian gods, and then one more set of gods, Titans. Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess is about you playing as a servant to a goddess as you purify Japan through and through. That one is my favorite. I enjoyed it a lot. I haven't gone back to play it. It really grasped me enough to like do like 10 hours, and I just haven't gotten a chance to go back. Manor Lords is a very good survival medieval city build game. And then Unicorn Overlord I haven't heard anything about, so any of you guys play these at all or anything like
No.
that?
I've heard Unicorn Overlord and Frostpunk too, but I
Yeah,
don't
I've
know
heard of
much
Unicorn
about them.
Overlord.
If I had to pick, though, Kinitsugami would be my game of that one. Sports games. I
Go on.
really
I can-
enjoyed WWE 2K24.
I can attest to F1 because I played 23. I don't have 24, but I played F1 23, and I have that with the steering wheel. So like I got the most immersion out of it with that, and it is a beautiful game.
The wrestling
Now-
games are unfortunately kind of like coming back in a renaissance. That's the reason why
Right.
I'm like, ooh.
Right.
They've come back with a new developer. The Ukes is no longer developing the wrestling games,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you though.
No,
Keep
you're
going.
good. I was just because like I've been more into the racing games as of late because of the fact that I got the,
The
steering
wheel,
and
yeah, the
stuff.
wheel.
Yeah, because it just adds
Top
that much
spin
more
golf.
difference to it. But like F1 23 is fun. It's a lot of fun. It's perfect. Not perfect. I'm sorry. Perfect's not the right word, but it's like it's a beautiful game with beautiful sound design and with just beautiful details. And I really like that. So I can see why F1 24 is on there, but I it's still a sports racing game genre. Not many people really care too much about that. And I mean, Top Spin, like I guess it's a sport. NBA, EA Sports. It's just it's a weird genre, I think. Not like
Why
it's
do
a
they-
weird genre, but I don't know.
Why do they call it 2K25? Just replace the K with a 0 and it makes it easier to read.
Well, aren't most of those games made by 2K or like published by 2K?
Yeah, for the
That's,
most part.
I think that's why they call them
That's
2K.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on. Best multiplayer game.
Mario Party.
Space Marines 2 has a very good cooperative 3-player campaign. It also has a series of missions that involve 3-play. It's very good. I don't think that's game of the year though for a multiplayer. If I had to pick, I'm thinking Helldivers 2. I'm not going to give it to a Call of Duty game.
I'll go Helldivers
That
on
being
that one.
said, I think this Call of Duty has the best zombies in a while.
Mhm.
But I also liked Cold War zombies more than MW3 zombies.
I will say general audiences probably don't give a shit, but Super Mario Party Jamboree is actually probably the best Mario Party so far. It is very, very solid.
I do have interest. I just don't have money.
Yeah, fair enough.
I like Jamboree.
And then
Jamboree's fun.
Tekken 8 is a fighting game, so it is multiplayer,
Yeah,
and it is.
I don't know if Tekken 8, like as good as I hear it is, I
Does it
don't
have
know if
Tekken
that,
bowling?
I don't know if that's gonna win multiplayer games.
I mean, I don't know if they have multiplayer Tekken bowling. That might be it. I don't know. I'm looking to see if Tony summons and bam. We'll go ahead and move on. Sorry. I saw one of the options for this next one.
Best adaptation.
Arcane, Fallout,
Where's Concord?
Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and then Tomb
Did that
Raider.
come out? The
Yeah,
Yakuza show?
That's out. Yep.
Is it
Uh,
good?
I don't know yet. I've
Probably
heard
not.
it wasn't.
Yeah, I heard. that too.
The big thing is the Knuckles show is so bad. The Knuckles show is so bad.
Is it?
Yes. 4 episodes in, Knuckles just gets invited to have a Jewish family dinner.
I
for,
remember
like, a
you
Jewish
talking
holiday.
about this.
And
Yeah, I think you talked about
like
this.
he like becomes a stepdad to these 2 grown like fucking mouth breathers. It was crazy. It was like he was like, "Oh, what is this spongy fish substance? Gefilte fish. I like it." Like, and it gets to a point where Knuckles has some extreme sexual tension with the grandmother, which it makes sense because the grandmother could get it. I liked her. She was sitting there in the fight sequence. She had a frying pan and she was beating them up with a frying pan. But then, like, the 2 other adult characters that are in this episode are insufferable adult mouth-breathing children that should... No, the Knuckles adaptation... Knuckles is bad. Knuckles is fucking garbage.
So what actually wins this Fallout?
Oh, it's Arcane or Fallout. That's
Arcane
the
or
rough part.
Fallout.
Arcane, I've heard, is fantastic. I've
Arcane
heard this
is
new season is
very
very good. People love it a lot. And then Fallout itself, Fallout itself was, as a diehard fan of Fallout, it was very good. I thought it was a very good adaptation of the Fallout universe.
I heard when the Fallout show came out that it inspired a lot of people to actually go back and play Fallout games again.
Yeah, it literally caused that's what Bethesda did. Bethesda waited for the Fallout show to drop, and then they did a bunch of major updates for all of the Fallout games, causing them all to break with their mods.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still recovering from that because I lost my playthrough because of it.
Oh.
So
That's why I'm very like turned off from them doing that. But no, the Knuckles show should not be here. I would have rather had the Halo show, which by the way, that came out with a new season and no one knew about.
Yeah, why would we want to?
Most anticipated GTA 6, content creator of the year, Pixel Pulse.
Yeah.
Most anticipated game for me is still Metroid Prime 4. Also, content creator of the year. Listen, as a content creator, who gives a fuck? Like, no offense to any of these people, but like, why is this part of the TGAs?
The only one I know is Queso.
Yeah,
it's
same.
literally just the Queso reward.
Yeah, I know Queso.
Everyone
and
loves
Pecora,
Queso.
but I'm a
I haven't
VTuber,
watched him,
and I know
but
Pecora.
you know, my favorite is Peppa Pipkin. You know, but P.
Sorry, I was saying I know Pecora because I'm a VTuber, but that's
this
that's a
one
different
might
story.
cater more to Austin and I when it comes to this one with the esports. Unfortunately for me, I'm not really aware of the other esports anymore. It's Valorant.
I swear to God. I'm okay. So, just a real quick tangent. Years ago, on my Facebook page, I had gotten an advertisement for Mobile Legends Bang Bang. And every time I have seen a commercial come up for this fucking game in fucking commercial chaos from Vinny Vine Sauce, it is the most unhinged shit I have ever seen. And I remember because it's a League of Legends clone, and it's just fucking unhinged. The commercials are so fucking out of whack. It doesn't show how the game plays. It just goes in complete different directions, and you're like, what the fuck is this game? What am I looking at? It's awful. Sorry, I just had to go off on that tangent.
Yeah. Mobile Legends.
And it's probably
Bang
League
Bang.
of Legends, by the way.
Yeah, it's probably going to be League of Legends is what I'm guessing at too. I would like to say Valorant would be up there, but you know, Counter-Strike's not it anymore.
Right.
Counter-Strike's going out. Dota 2 can't compete with League.
No, definitely not.
I don't know what Mobile Legends Bang Bang is, and I'm not touching it.
Oh, I'm
not touching anything that's
you
Bang
fucking
Bang.
dare.
I'm looking at best esports athlete right now, and I'm really starting to realize we're running out of usernames. Some people are just slapping their keyboards for some of these names. There's Alex Sib. Okay, that's readable. I guess Faker, fine. Then there's ZY capital W lowercase o capital O, and then there's ZMJJKK.
So you want to know what his name actually is? He goes by Kong Kong because he's a Valorant player, and he's a really good. The ZMJJKK. He's Kong Kong. That's his name.
You know, a Faker will probably get that one.
Faker will definitely get that. Faker is
pretty much Game of the Year guy.
Faker is the gamer. Like, Faker is absolutely the gamer.
Gaming.
Best esports team.
It's got to be T1.
Three of them are League of Legends. Why isn't this just?
That's why. Yeah, that's why League. Yeah, that's why. And I think that's pretty much covers our game awards. That took a lot longer. I think we need to wrap up. Gabe, do
you want to do just very quick grab?
No.
Super quick.
What was the grab bag?
McDonald's barbecue rib sauce.
The McRib sauce.
Take it away real quick.
Absolutely. So a couple weeks ago, you were able to buy a whole jug of the McRib sauce from McDonald's, but you had to do it through a whole gallon of it, and it was $20. But you couldn't just go through the drive-thru and ask for it. You had to go online on a website. And again, this website was like, it was announced like maybe 3 weeks ago, I think. But you were able to go online to buy these McRib sauces, and it's sold out. Everyone has bought their 20-gallon McRib sauces.
I
don't know why.
Sauce.
Everyone that wanted $20 McRib sauce got their McRib sauce.
I know. So, and then on the website now, because the website's still up, if I remember, what is the website? Let me look at it real quick, because it's wholelotofmcribsauce.com is what the website is. Oh, sorry, it's a half gallon of McRib sauce.
Oh.
Okay, it's not a full gallon, but if you go there, It says the sauce may be sold out, but the McRib is not. Visit your local McDonald's starting on December 3rd to get your hands on it.
Oop.
So, in some point in the last couple weeks, you were able to buy a half gallon of the McRib sauce and just chug it. You could just have your own McRib sauce and just drink it.
Why?
I'm gonna be honest with you. McRib, more like McMid.
I was thinking the same fucking joke. I'm not even
let
lying.
me get my school lunch rib meat sandwich.
Yeah. You know what? The school lunch would probably be better anyways.
Yeah, probably.
But I couldn't believe that for a minute there. People were all like, oh yeah, you know what? I really like the McRib. I want to buy a whole fucking half gallon of the McRib sauce.
Hear me out though. Hear me out. I think there is a reason for it though. Think about that 20 gallon or half gallon. You can use that for cooking. You can make better ribs with the McDonald's rib sauce.
That's true.
Or you could just make your own rib sauce recipe that's good and not limited time. Gooder is a real word, I promise you.
Gooder. The McRib unironically turns people into the Riblin.
All right, boys and American Sign Languager.
They're still bleeding.
Why? What?
They've been bleeding for the last
Did you guys
3 hours.
not patch it? What happened? I was gone for 3 episodes.
Well, they needed to let you know what was happening on the show, but clearly you weren't reading them. You were leaving them on red while they were doing.
It's all right. I get left on red all the time.
Ooh.
Anyways, so this has been Quinn is Melvin. This is with me today. Gabriel Surge.
Gabriel McDuggan.
McRib is what I was gonna say.
Gabriel McRib.
And then we had Agari Chew.
Yeah, I'm chewing the McRib. It's the McRib that I'm chewing.
It's McRib. Anyways, I thank you all for tuning in on this wonderful Sunday evening. And if you all wish to play D&D, don't. If your game of the award, game of the award,
your game of the war. Oh no, the mic.
Anyways, I think that's it for us.
Gabriel McRib.
If you want to find yourself, the Melvin man, where can people find you?
You can find me at WaterMelvin on YouTube. Sorry, my microphone's getting tossed around because it fell over. I'm fixing it. I don't post anything right now. I'm kind of a lazy butthead. I've been working a lot. I'm getting strong though. Went to the gym.
He's getting strong.
We're doing that. I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna be an independent man.
Yeah.
Who needs no goblins.
Goblins.
Do you know how to hop your goblin?
Can I
Have
hop
you
your
ever
goblin?
learned-
Usually it involves a lot of no, I'm not gonna tell you how to hop your goblin. You can ask your girlfriend on that one.
Okay.
Anyways, this has been Agari. Where can you find him?
Wow, you can find me on the internet.
www.internet.com.
Exactly. So
Don't
you
go
can
to
find me
that
on
website,
Twitch.
it's bad.
Yeah, don't go there. You can find me on my Twitch, twitch.tv/agari_uchu.
Twitch.com.
.cock. AGARI_UCHU. You can find me on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, at Agari Uchu, pretty much everywhere. And that's where I exist.
And you can find me at twitch.tv/GabrielSurgeVA. By the way, my name's Gabriel. I don't even know if we ever said our names in this episode. I'm Gabe. There's one guy here named Melvin. There's another guy named here Austin. Twitch.tv/GabrielSurgeVA, which is where you're currently watching this from if you're watching from Twitch, unless you're watching from YouTube, in which case you're watching at youtube.com/gaming outlet video, where you can primarily find more Pixel Pulse content. All the VODs are still saved there, as well as maybe our Game of the Year discussion, which will be the next episode of Pixel Pulse. And next year, I'd like to actually get into doing some content on Gaming Outlet, so stick around if you wish to see some videos.
Yes. Anyways, have a wonderful night, and I hope you
Have
all
a great fucking night. I love all of you.
hope you all have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you all in the future.
Bye-bye.